Greetings, everyone. And welcome to a Monsterpalooza with Pizzazz edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monsterpalooza party.
We are back. Oh, we're back. We're back,
home.
everybody.
Yeah.
We're back where we belong. At Monsterpalooza, our favorite convention.
That's right.
And we are
people.
together in person.
Yes.
Not on a computer
Yeah.
monitor screen.
That's right.
It's that almost never happens these
No.
days.
No.
I know.
Because
I know.
Nope.
James has decided to live in Palm Springs for God knows what reason. Larry lives in San Jose to fulfill his career in art and sculpture.
Yes, art and sculpture.
I live in Van Nuys because I just love the people.
I'm in the witness protection program.
And Sean, we're not revealing where he lives. Yes. But we're all together again,
We're
and it's nice.
together.
I love seeing you all.
Yes.
And
It is
our
great.
booth looks great.
It does look
Yes,
great.
yes.
Yes, it
It's
does.
flashy.
We got
James put up
LEDs.
some flashy lights.
Yeah.
And it's like Vegas has come to Pasadena.
You know, previous Monsterpaloozas, you have pointed out that the flashing lights that James has put up
Yes.
were somehow gaudy.
Yes.
And you are now wearing a sparkly green
Yes.
sequin
Yes.
jacket.
I tell you,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, you have to check out our photos because
Yeah.
I look electric.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm
Welcome to Hypocrite Party.
No. This is Monster Party, and we're flashy. We've got a lot of cool things going on, and I
We
want
do.
the people to know about Monster Party. And the funny thing about it is, this is a very special year. You know that?
Yes.
2025. Do you know what it's the anniversary of?
Tell me.
It is the 70th anniversary of Revenge of the Creature.
Ooh.
And for my respect for that, I have this green sparkly outfit and I have creature shoes.
I do like the
Wow.
shoes. I like the
Whoa.
shoes a
I have
lot.
creature shoes and creature socks.
Nice.
And so we are. I'm celebrating the creature here at
But
Monsterpalooza.
aren't you always celebrating the creature?
Well,
True.
sure.
24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Don't you go to bed in like a creature-shaped bed with creature sheets, and then
You
you
do a
take a
little-
bath in your
do a little
Lagoon
prayer.
bathroom.
And God bless the creature.
Well, with
and
a
Julie
couple little
Adams.
Barbie figures with a little white
Sure,
swimsuit.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know,
and then Kathy shoots you with a harpoon.
Yeah, no, or lights me on fire, perhaps.
Oh, could be that too.
Yeah,
Yes,
right, right.
yeah.
But you know,
Takes your gills and gives you a shirt.
But see, what we're doing now, it's great because we're talking about monsters. This is Monsterpalooza, and everyone loves to talk about monsters here.
Yes,
right?
we do.
Right,
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
And-
where else can you do this?
Well, I mean, we could do it many places. I think we can do it wherever we'd like, really.
Sure, but here.
But it's appropriate here.
Yes.
Yes.
So look. Long story short, I know.
I don't think it's gonna be
No.
short.
Maybe,
No?
maybe I've jumped on James a little too much, but I've embraced the flashiness.
Cool,
You
cool,
know,
yeah.
and
I was honestly, Larry, I was a little surprised that you were not a fan of the LED lights in the past, and
I just don't want it to look.
But talk about
I
bringing,
don't
bringing
want it to
attention.
I wanted to
look
go
gaudy.
I wanted to go all out. I want it to be impressive. Like if you're driving along the highway and you see a flashing light sign and some of the bulbs are out, you go,
But wait a
that
minute.
doesn't
None
look
of
good.
none of James's bulbs are out.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
You,
wrong
you
with
can
you?
see it from down the aisle. I mean, it stands out.
Are you
man.
having a heart attack? The bulbs are going out.
no, see, in my point of view, a party doesn't necessarily have to be like a billionaire party. It can be a fun,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit gaudy. It's okay.
Yeah.
We have the Uncle Bobby mannequin here,
Right, yeah.
so named for Bobby Slayton, who gifted us with it.
That's correct.
and
Yes.
he's got a Hawaiian lei around his neck.
Yes.
You know, it's just, and if a couple of bulbs were out, maybe that's part
Yeah.
of the charm.
Yeah, I'm sorry we're so low class, Larry.
But
that-
you see, look, I can learn something from James. James brings up a
You
very
can learn
good
a lot
point.
from James.
James brings up a very good point. And for listeners out there, maybe you're in Idaho or somewhere
Idaho.
in Florida or
Idaho.
Alaska, and if you want to have your own little monster party, and you have a few lights that go up and a bulb is missing or something, it's okay.
That's right, because you're a monster fan. That's what counts.
Exactly.
Well, and
So Larry has given you permission to
Yes.
have a party the way you want it.
Wow.
And you know what else? We're currently at our booth, and we're sitting across from two other booths that both happen to have bright neon logos.
That's right, that's right.
We actually need to get
You-
a neon sign.
So
You got to compete. You got to
No.
compete.
No, I'm serious.
So
We
good
need-
idea. That's a good
year-
idea.
We do need a
we're
neon
doing
sign.
next year. We're doing neon. You heard it here first,
So
folks.
Yeah.
for those practitioners of neon sign technology, please send your quotes to Monster Party. Or
please.
give it to us for free.
Or dare I say, gift us one. Because we love gifts.
That's right.
And God forbid we get one that is aimed at everybody.
Yes. But what's great about Monsterpalooza
Is
we have
Sean's sandwiches.
yes, Sean sandwiches, but
I
also
make great sandwiches.
We meet new people and we chat about monsters.
Oh my God!
There's
Look, Larry. As you're talking, people are passing by the coolest cosplay and
Yeah.
Yeah.
goth
like
looks and
creepy
outfits,
clowns
and it's just amazing.
and Frankenstein outfits and
Incredible.
It's really, really skeleton outfits.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it's really, really cool. And I love it. I love it here. But of course, now that you mentioned a neon sign, now maybe I can't be happy. Now,
Oh, no.
now- and so for some of you listeners out there, if you belong to our Patreon stuff, you can check out. We'll put some footage up there
Yes,
so you
yes,
can check
for
it
sure.
out.
This is going to be a very special year, I think. I think just in general. And Monster Party is a great way to launch this new generation, this new age of Monster Party.
Yes, and hey!
And speaking of the new age of horror and monsters, who do we
Speaking
have
of
here?
new age of horror,
No, it's so
Ken
fun.
Daly
But
is
because
here.
We're talking about friends, and look who just shows up.
That's right.
Yes,
At the very beginning, man, you're
come over
here
and
within the
his
first hour.
lovely new
there's-
wife.
There's
Hi.
Mel.
It's
Hi,
Mel.
Hi, how are you?
You guys look great.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
do. You both look lovely.
Thank you so much.
And-
You are dressed in your traditional. Okay, Ken is wearing a shirt that says traditional Godzilla violence. Now, could you explain that?
It's off the DVD box of what is it? Megalon? What? Not? Fuck. I can't remember. Oh, sorry. Can't remember. But it's a like a parental warning.
For one of the
No,
show
is it
show
really?
era?
For one of the movies. Yeah.
Oh, really? Really?
Megalon?
That sounds right.
I think so.
That sounds
Smog
right.
Monster.
No, I think it's
okay.
Megalon. It's the new DVD that came out.
So that's actually a blurb, like
So I figured
that's
I'm
like
going to make a shirt out of it.
promoting it, like
Yeah.
watch it.
So
for
this
the-
is one
for
of
the
your
traditional
shirts,
violence.
Ken.
Yeah.
And if one
My
wanted to
TeePublic
get
store.
this shirt or something else that you offer,
If I can remember the name of my site, I think it's Uncle Goopy on TeePublic.
Oh well, way to be prepared there, buddy. That's great.
Very,
Nothing
I'm
has
an excellent
changed.
salesman. It's amazing.
nothing has changed, Ken.
Wealthy.
Hey, Ken, you know, did you, speaking of Godzilla, one of the tables, it's that one table that has all the Godzilla vinyls that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
They have a vinyl of the Shin Godzilla zipline attraction.
What?
The fact
Nice.
that
Oh,
someone
wow,
made
that's
that
very
is, like,
cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
But
This
it's
is my
like,
friend Robert, by the way.
hi,
Hey,
Robert.
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Robert.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Has a podcast, a horror.
He does.
Awesome.
Robert, what's your podcast?
My podcast is Pods and Monsters. We're on hiatus right now, but we plan to bring it back soon, hopefully.
Fantastic.
Hiatus.
Nice.
Okay.
Is this your first time at Monsterpalooza?
Oh, no, I've been coming since not the first year, but the second year. I
Oh,
think.
wow. Also, you're a veteran.
I see.
She's very much of our ilk.
Nice.
And I see you
nice.
have a monster T-shirt. Could we see?
Corey Ackerman.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, I have that.
Oh, nice.
Very
Yeah, I
cool.
love
Very
Corey.
cool.
Met him when I was a kid and kept in touch until the end.
Wow.
Did you
nice.
get a chance to go to the Glendower house?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I was probably about 10 years old or so when I went there. And I remember I had my favorite book, which was Graven Images.
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Borst.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Forey wrote a little piece at the end of it, and I remember he flipped exactly to his page and signed it for me, and I was so impressed that he knew exactly what page his section was on.
Nice. Nice.
When he had to sell the house and he moved to the smaller Acker mansion, it was really tough for me. And every once in a while, I would just drive by the old house on Glendower, and someone purchased it and they refurbished it Then they had an open house, and I had to go in to see what the house was like. And I spoke with the real estate agent there, and they said, it was funny. When we were cleaning out the bottom, we found like plastic spiders and rubber snakes and stuff. And I thought,
That's great. It's so fory.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
So-
cool.
I am no bodies.
Well, she didn't. She didn't elaborate. So,
They didn't break through the concrete.
Right.
Right.
Now, I do have a quick question for you. I noticed when I looked outside, the line was huge. How did you guys get in so quickly?
It moved much quicker this year.
Nice.
They've
nice.
got it.
Figured it out finally. Yeah.
They figure it out where they walk by and give you your wristband, and as soon as 6 o'clock hits, everyone walks in.
Wow, nice.
Because last year I didn't get in until about 7.
No, I know that.
Wow,
Now,
wow.
I see your lovely wife has already moved on to our booth next door to the Halloween
She's
booth.
so
Our friend
over
Rody
us.
Motijo is an excellent artist, and he's all about Halloween. He loves Halloween. He works on a Halloween parade as well. He's done floats for the parade.
Oh, wow.
Well, we're hoping to
Wow.
talk
We'll
to
have
them.
talk
Yeah,
to him,
our
yes.
neighbor now, yeah.
Great. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I know
Apparently,
you
I guess you're done, Ken. Bye. All over.
I didn't even say
Why are you
anything
still
about
here?
Avatar or nothing.
No. His wife is asking him to go to the Halloween booth.
You got stuff to buy.
Go
We understand.
away.
Sir.
But thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate
Yeah,
you
thank
stopping
you.
by. Come back later on, okay? And let us know what you see around
Yeah, what you bought.
Monsterpalooza.
All right, we will.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
bet.
you.
You.
Do you have a moment to talk to Monster Party podcast? You can, I'll make it worth your while.
Well, you
I'll
have
give you a free
never-
gift.
The excitement
Yeah,
coming from these
yeah,
two.
come on over. What's your name?
Savannah
Savannah, and what's your name?
Tenley.
Lee. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Wow,
Tell me-
that was fast.
No, I just want to know what their favorite. Do you have a favorite horror film?
Scream.
Scream.
Good choice.
The original.
The
And
original,
how about-
yes.
Well, she stole my answer.
Well, how about your second favorite? Don't touch people, Larry.
No, that's Scream and Scream again. Get it?
Deep cut.
Yeah.
The newer Scream with Jenna Ortega in it.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Interesting.
So that's like full circle. Yeah.
So what about classics though, or is that a classic to you? Do you think, oh man, that is the best?
Oh, heck yeah. Classics all the way.
Really? Is it like Bride of Frankenstein or Wolfman?
Oh, yeah. Like, especially, like, those ones. And then also, like, Friday the 13th.
Nice.
Ooh, look at
Word
that!
I love your shirt.
Yeah, so like a Friday the 13th
Wearing a-
collage.
Yeah.
I love it.
All
yeah.
the way.
I want the pants. That's what I'm looking for. I want the,
Now, I'm curious though. You said the original Friday the 13th though, right?
Oh, 100%.
Where all the effects are like practical effects. It's not CGI stuff, right?
Nah, screw CGI.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
yeah, right.
much.
You
Thank
guys are the
you.
best. I
Yeah.
mean, do you feel the same way?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If someone is
Things are
not
just too
actually
modern right
sprayed
now.
with fake blood, what's the point?
Right. People are faking if it's just, like, paint. You got to the real stuff.
And the original Friday.
Theater is living truthfully in the moment.
Do you guys feel that, like, when you go to a newer movie and you're able to kind of tell it's CGI, and for some reason it just doesn't feel real?
Not as good. Not as good, man.
But when you see Kevin Bacon or something in the first
Well, I
one,
was going to say, what's cool, so many people forget that the very first Friday the 13th was also a murder mystery. You didn't know who the killer was in the beginning. Right? I mean, it's cool. It's really, people forget that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
oh, great. Thanks, Sean. Well, you ladies, thank you so much for stopping by Monster Party. You get a free gift. So why don't you guys reach in? Who knows what you're going to get? Ooh, Spaceman. Ooh,
Cool.
what are you going to get? We've got all kinds of goofy things. And you got a collection of spooky things. There's like a bat and a zombie. Yeah.
Spooky things.
Well, I don't know what else to call it. Look, those are vintage teeth, by the way.
A mix of monsters.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's for a small mouth, though. Just to let you know.
She's got a small mouth, so that'll be perfect.
TMI.
Well, guys, take a couple flyers. Thank you so much for stopping
Yes.
by.
Check
A
us
small
out.
mouth for now. The second you get her going, it's
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. You too.
See, they were great. And here comes Kathy.
Kathy
Oh, hey,
Stroh.
Hey, who's this young lady?
Hello. So
I
it's
know
my
you from
beautiful
somewhere.
daughter, Kathy.
Hi.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi. And you've been here for a little while.
Yeah, I've been here for a bit. I was kind of helping set up, I did a little drawing, and I've just been chilling, waiting for the convention to start. And now it started, and I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for some people to get here before I start looking around.
Right, but you
Oh.
said there was is there a
Oh my gosh.
there's an entertainer
A
here.
celebrity, a
Wednesday
musician.
13 is here.
What's his name?
Wednesday 13. He just goes by Wednesday.
Okay.
He's a singer, and I love his music. And I got really excited when I found out that he was here, and I was like, ah! I turned into a little fangirl. And the convention hadn't opened yet officially, but he was sitting at his booth, and I walked over, and I was like, hi, I'm a fan. I just wanted to say hi. And he really couldn't care less, but it's okay. He was, no. He was nice. No, that's a lie. He was really nice. He was nice. He just, the convention hadn't started yet, and he was like,
his mind wasn't in the
He
game.
hadn't put on his show face yet.
but he was pleasant. A brief hello. He was not rude, but he was just like, oh hey, I'm just applying my makeup, and his girlfriend. I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his assistant said hello to me, and she complimented my cat bag. So
Well, that's
yeah,
nice.
it was nice.
Was it Sean who brought up a creature bag, right?
No, that was Matt.
that was me. Matt
sorry,
Weinhold.
Matt Weinhold, yes.
Part of Monster Party, you might remember.
Yes. So, Kathy, do you have other bags?
I have many bags. I think you're referring to my creature bag. My dad got me a giant creature head purse.
I saw it here.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. I didn't bring it. I should have, but I didn't because I had a couple other bags I wanted to bring. But I have it on my desk. I use it as like a display piece rather than like I will eventually use it as an actual purse. But it looks so cool just like sitting on my desk. So
You
Oh.
can keep creature things in it.
That's right.
I could, yeah. But my little creature plush has them poking out.
You could do
Yes.
what do they call the dolls that are within each other? The ones
Oh,
that
the
get
little Russian dolls.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And you could have a smaller thing inside
Oh,
each one.
or just smaller creature purses inside the big one.
Oh, I like that
Nesting,
idea.
nesting dolls. I think.
Nesting. There you go.
Yes.
That's what I was looking for.
And then when you get to the bottom, there's a tiny little baby one.
Right.
I would like when you get to the very center of it, it's like a mouse trap or something. It's like, no, you went too far.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you again for all the help that you gave us,
Yes.
and we really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
I did some things. I did a little drawing. I mean, when you guys set up, you guys are on a roll, so I try to kind of stay out of the way. But
But you also do some editing and stuff for.
oh yes, I did some editing, and yeah, I love Monster Party. I love supporting my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! Isn't she the best? Okay, well, as soon as our friends.
I guess you're done.
Move along.
Well, thanks for stopping
I
by.
don't know if you're aware of this, but he's wrapping it up.
It's no because
Goodbye.
No, I get it. You want me to leave? I see.
Yeah.
no,
No.
I'm the worst daughter in the world.
Yeah.
no, it's not. No, you're not a clown. It's not like I asked you to do something and you messed it up or anything. No.
So now she's in trouble somehow, or
No. It's great. We hope you have a great time here at Monsterpalooza, and I'm sure you're going to get some things, and you and your friend.
I'm gonna give a haul when I'm back. Yeah.
There we
and,
go.
You know, it's you guys may not know this, but something very special about today is going to happen. My sister.
My aunt, my dad's sister, and my little cousin, who's about to be 15, they're coming, and it's going to be their first Monsterpalooza, and I'm excited.
Wow.
Yeah, Everly and Angela. She's about to turn 15, and growing up, she was kind of scared of a lot of this monster stuff, but now I think she's old enough, and she can kind of enjoy it a little more.
Wasn't there a time when, if she were to go in your room, you had to hide some of the spooky dolls?
Yeah, I think I had to hide some stuff, and she definitely got scared easily. She couldn't watch Harry Potter because the spiders scared her.
Wow.
That reminds me. So Dana Gould, who we've had on the show many times, friend of the show, he used to have these gardeners that would come to his place, and he had a bunch of like gargoyle, creepy planters. And after they left, he noticed that they were all turned the opposite way. Isn't that
Wow.
amazing?
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
like he
kinda
creeped them
odd.
out.
Now, I do have something very interesting to tell you guys since Kathy is here.
Okay.
Now, this might be a little controversial, but
I sure hope so.
there was a DVD that I had that Kathy, as a little small child, could see, and she always bugged me about when she was about 5, and I was kind of nervous. I said, well, honey, I don't know. And
It was Trilogy of Terror.
Oh,
And
okay.
I remember being like 4 or 5, and my dad had this big case of DVDs, and I saw his little face with the sharp teeth.
The Zuni
And
finish doll.
I was in my little ballet outfit. I was about to go to ballet class, and so I had my little tights on and my little shoes, and I was sitting and I was looking at all the DVDs, and I was like, Dad, what's this DVD? And he goes, oh, that's a little scary. And I think I was so fascinated by this little freaky face,
Right.
and I wanted to watch it so bad. I don't remember when you let me watch it, but I was pretty young. I think just because I kept pestering.
you were 5.
I was 5.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
She saw it when she was 5?
Yes, and it was
Wow.
my favorite.
You are the
And
greatest dad
because
ever.
Yeah.
I pestered him so much. See, he's not a bad dad. If anything, he's a good dad. Because then
I agree.
that movie became my favorite movie, and I had the whole what's her name? Is it
Karen
Amelia.
Karen Black.
I had the whole Amelia
Oh,
episode.
Amelia.
I had the whole Amelia episode memorized. I had it
Nice.
memorized.
See, he helped cultivate your love for horror.
Yes.
You need to do
Yes.
like an Amelia one-woman show.
It'd just be me screaming.
But here's the thing, guys. This is the thing that kind of made me a little nervous. So Kathy loved it. She would tell her friends at school about it.
I had a scary stories club. And okay, so I had a scary stories club. It literally was just me reciting the movies I had seen to my friends.
You were
And they
doing
ate
a
it up.
one-woman show.
Yeah, my friends ate it up, but I got in trouble because then my friends would tell the kindergartners my stories.
Oh my gosh.
And the first graders, and then I got pulled over. I got pulled
They were the
pulled
cops.
to the side by a first grade teacher who was like, "You need to stop." And I was like, "Well,
Wow.
fuck you," like it's my story.
It's just like
And
Footloose, man.
I remember being like, "Well, I'm not
Horror
telling you.
Footloose.
I'm not going out of my way to tell the first graders about Trilogy of Terror."
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, look,
Crazy.
they have to know this stuff because
Yeah. Get prepared for the real world.
yeah, they don't want to
If
be the
you-
next
yeah.
Amelia.
But the reason why I bring it up is this year is its 50th anniversary. It came out in 1975, and it's amazing that Kathy and I, we were talking about this, and I said I had to bring it up. So
Yes.
Well, thanks for letting me chat. This was fun.
I
I'm gonna
guess
go
you're-
walk around.
I guess
yeah,
you're
I'm,
over,
now I'm
Larry.
cutting you off because there are some other people who would like to talk to
yes.
you.
Oh, hey guys. Oh, hey. Do you guys have a favorite monster?
I don't know.
Because there's so many cool ones to choose from, right? Do you like Frankenstein or Godzilla or the Mummy or vampires?
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
You are
what are
my
the
new
chances?
best
Wow,
friend. Because
nice.
I want you to see my shoes. I have Creature from the Black Lagoon shoes. Oh, you are the best. What's your name?
Amelia.
Amelia.
Wow, what are the chances?
What are the chances?
We were
of
just
that?
talking about a scary movie with a character named Amelia.
Mom, do you know about Trilogy of Terror? Karen Black from 1975 TV.
You got to look this
yeah,
one
she's
up.
terrorized by this doll that comes to life and chases her around the apartment. It's
It
great.
was-
It'll be your new favorite monster.
And her
this
character is
doll.
named Amelia.
Amelia's name?
Yeah. You thought obviously you named your daughter after the Trilogy of Terror, but I guess not.
just for really quickly, it was made for television by Dan
Curtis, yes.
Dan Curtis.
And it was one of the most frightening things on television in 1975.
Yes.
It's three stories. The third story is called Amelia, where there's this spooky doll. My daughter, who was just here, that was her favorite movie growing up. What do you think about that?
That's really cool.
Cool. Well, I think you're cool, Amelia, and I think you deserve a free toy. So why don't you go, reach in and take a spooky monster toy. We've got monsters. Oh, well, actually, yes. If you are a creature fan, look at the little monsters. Ooh, there's a vamp. Ooh, there's a creature in there.
Oh, there's a creature.
That's
Oh.
so cool.
What do you think? Now, have you been to Monsterpalooza before?
Yes.
Is your mom a big monster fan?
No, my grandpa.
Is he? Oh.
How many years have you been attending?
2?
2, 3?
Oh, 3, 5, 10?
Maybe
7.
Wow.
You're cool. You're a good mom.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good grandma. Good job. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, and keep watching The Creature. Do you know
Yeah.
The Revenge of the Creature? It's its 70th anniversary this year.
She knows
It
that.
is. I do know.
And you knew that.
I do know that. We're watching the Universal Monster channel.
Yeah, it's
goes
great, right?
24/7.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And
Right?
love those films. They're so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Check out Monster Party Podcast and enjoy the convention, okay? Thanks very much, guys, for stopping by. Take care.
Bye-bye.
You know what's interesting is just the kids. You know,
The kids.
Kids today.
Well, look,
These kids.
it's neat to hear, Sean, when you and I were growing up, and Matt and James, when we were
Maybe
growing-
James. Possibly
when
Matt.
we were watch like Creature Feature or those, and we would watch those old classic horror movies. That's what.
But can you imagine, like, when we were, let's say we were 10 years old, if there was something like a Monsterpalooza that our parents could take us to, like, there's no such thing like that. I
Well,
mean,
here's the
We
thing.
barely had sci-fi conventions.
Yeah.
That's right. Can you imagine? I mean, what would your dad say? Dad, I want to go to this Monsterpalooza convention. Your dad would go, yeah, if you can get there yourself, take the bus or.
You know, they initially took me to some Star Trek conventions.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, like a couple, because there was one. It was I think it was SpaceCon,
Yeah.
and I entered the costume contest as Box from Logan's
that's
Run.
right.
Oh.
So they had to help me, and my mom, her memory's not quite what it was, but one story she does remember is helping me get up the stairs. Like they had to pick me up because my box costume was actually made out of like a refrigerator box.
That's
And
hilarious.
so they had to lift me up, and I got second place.
James, did your folks ever take you to a convention or?
No, it wasn't until I guess I was in my late teens, early 20s that I started going to those creation Star Trek conventions.
Oh, Star Trek.
Well,
What?
that was the only game in town back then.
But
Right.
Now, is it true that the first time you went to Comic-Con, you and I went together, right? That was the first time you went
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. It was an
And that's
Wow,
where it
wow.
all started.
That's where it
Cool,
started.
man.
Yep.
Yeah. Good times.
Good friends.
Oh yeah, memories.
I want to see the nerd version of like The Odd Couple.
Yeah, really.
I don't know how that would work. It would be a Star Wars fan and a Star Trek fan.
Or
Exactly.
slow zombies and fast zombies.
Be that, yeah.
Right.
And they share an apartment, and one's just running around, and then the other guy is just kinda,
Shambling.
Yeah, shambling.
At the Star Trek celebration in Tokyo,
Yeah.
there was a man walking around with
Star
a sign.
Trek?
I'm sorry, Star Wars celebration.
Oh,
Scared me for a
wow.
second.
Wow. Wow.
There was a man walking around with a sign that said "Star Trek is better."
Oh,
And
God
I,
bless him.
And I said to him, you're very brave doing that.
Yeah, really,
A fan walked by saying, also very stupid.
Oh, well. But that's kind of what he's looking for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what's really neat is when a kid comes by and they get a monster toy, you just don't know what that's going to launch. It's
That's
like,
true.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I got these cool glow zombies. I'm gonna put them on a shelf, and maybe I won't take them out of the package or something. And
But
No, I think they're going to take him out
that's
of the
just
bag.
you. Again, Larry reminds me of that Odd Couple episode where Felix has his teddy bear still in the package.
Right.
As we see, there are a lot of children here, and some people might think that might be inappropriate, bringing them to a horror convention.
Yeah.
But what I see is parents drawing a nice, clear line between what is fake and what is real.
right,
Right.
This is fake, so it can be fun, and it's helping you deal with your own fears.
But wouldn't you agree, Matt? It also depends on the kid. You can gauge
Sure.
whether
Sure.
or not your kid is like into this stuff. Like, guys, I told my daughter pestered me about a trilogy of terror.
Right.
But you know what? When we were little, when we were kids, we were also drawn to these sort of like dark taboo things.
Yeah, sure.
When we were at school, we were always trading those stories. Ooh, I saw this movie on
Yeah,
late
right.
last night,
Because it's not, like Matt's saying, it's not just about the difference between reality and fantasy. It's also just about creativity and imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which should be something that's always cultivated in a young kid. And that's what the horror, sci-fi, fantasy genres are.
Although, the fantastic creations that you'll see here do tend to take on a horrific
Well, sure,
bent.
most of yes.
But I think that, like as James was saying, when we were growing up, we glommed onto this stuff, and not every kid did.
Right. No, not every kid did.
And I think it's because, in a way, I don't mean this as an insult, but I think that we were kind of the misfits. We were the ones who identified maybe with the monsters a little bit more than, say, your average kid.
And we were just cooler.
And we were so cool.
Well, maybe you didn't think of yourself, like, I never really thought of myself as being cool. I belonged to my own special little monster club, and it was special to me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have loads of, like, classmates that were into this. I did have friends at home, that we would act out like monsters and stuff. But it's funny. James, I remember as a little kid wanting to see that scary movie that was going to be on late at night, and I'd be terrified. I was scared to watch it.
But you had to see it.
Yes, there was something about it.
It's because it's thrilling. It's like a roller coaster.
Well,
Man,
it's safe scares.
Watching Night of the Living Dead for the first time, I know we've talked about this before, but I keep going back to that. I remember being terrified and, hey, oh, yeah, how would you like a free gift? Okay, can you tell me what's your favorite monster movie?
My favorite monster movie is probably the horror Mickey Mouse one.
Oh, Screamboat.
Screamboat.
Oh,
Screamboat.
That's a brand new one.
It's
Okay.
new.
That is a new one. We just met the director as well.
You met the
Nice.
director?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Very
He was nice.
Now, what's your name?
Santiago.
And who are you here with?
My brother, my dad, and my mom.
Now, is everyone a monster fan here?
We are.
Really? Well, I want to thank you. He's losing out on the free monster gift. So you go ahead and reach in there, buddy. Yeah, there's glow zombies and there's space. Ooh, glow zombie!
Oh, I love it.
Your own zombie
Mom, do
horde.
you want one too? You want something? Why don't you? Ooh, you got spooky, creepy things. You got a rubber skeleton and a rubber zombie and spiders and things.
Damn,
You guys can
nice.
trade.
You can trade.
Yeah.
We're going to play on the plane all the way back to Texas.
Excellent.
Nice.
Guys, take a flyer. Check out Monster
Yes,
Party.
check out our podcast.
We've been doing this now for over 13 years. We have almost 300 episodes.
Yeah.
And we
Talk about
talk to celebrities and
monsters,
makeup artists
horror,
and talk about, we
sci-fi.
get into arguments about monsters.
Spooky things, right?
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
And after 13 years, we're still talking to each other. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This
So
is
there
a
you go.
friendship for life,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Hey, buddy, thanks so much for stopping by and enjoy those zombies, okay? Thanks, guys. He had, it's funny.
Hey!
No. What's funny is, for listeners who don't know,
What's funny?
No, the little
Tell
kid
him- tell me
Santiago,
what's
he's
funny.
here with his mom, so he must be about like 10 or so.
Yes.
And his older brother, you can see, he's a teenager, and he basically just blew us off. It's like, oh well, dude, you missed out on getting a free
That's
gift.
true,
So
that's
I have a feeling he might be okay with that.
no, I don't think so. I think on the plane he's going to feel real bad that he missed out, that he didn't
I think
talk
you
to
might
us.
be
No,
projecting
I
a
don't
bit.
think so. I don't think so, Matt. See, and he reminded me of a real, like an older brother, like my older brothers that were kind of.
Now I think you're
See,
really
yeah.
projecting. Anything you'd like to get off your chest?
No, look, my older brothers are great now. They're terrific
Wow.
guys. But there was a time when
Pain
growing
goes
up.
deep.
Hey, look, who amongst us? Well, okay, well, actually, you're the only
You,
one.
Larry.
Yeah, my brother wins.
Yeah,
And
Matt
he's
had-
a lovely man. So,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, Matt had a pretty tough brother, but
He was. See, the thing is, he wasn't tough. He was a criminal genius.
right.
for listeners, I have to tell you something funny. My oldest brother would listen to the show, and he came up. He told me at one Thanksgiving, he says, "Larry, I really want to meet Matt's older brother. He sounds like he was a great guy." So maybe they could trade older brother stories.
So Carrie and I have a wedding video. And in the wedding video, there were interviews that were being done. And they were interviewing various people. And they go to my brother and his friend Dave. And they start talking to him. And out of nowhere, his friend Dave starts bringing up all the stuff that he used to do, Mark, my brother, used to do to me.
Wow.
And guilting him. And so over the past, I want to say 15 years, when it's my birthday or it's Christmas, my brother goes out of his way to get me whatever I want. And I finally realized it's all out of guilt.
Right.
Hey, here's a couple guys. Guys, do you have a moment? What's your name?
My name's Ed.
Ed, and what's your name?
Hector.
Well, great. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Do you know about Monster Party Podcast?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, you guys love monsters, right? Excuse me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what is your favorite monster?
Probably from any type of fiction, I would say the Babadook. Probably from
Nice,
good
nice.
choice.
Type of-
Great choice.
Really?
psychological horror. I like especially like the Smile Demon, all that. I like
Yes,
psychological.
Smile is
Love it.
great.
That is
Love
really
it.
interesting.
Smile Demon goes hard. That one's freaky, man.
Yeah.
Smile 2 is great.
And what's your name?
Rob.
Rob, guys, thanks so much. Just really quickly, I'm curious, do you have a favorite horror movie or monster?
Horror movie, I would say the Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Cool.
How about for you?
Great. Classic.
Ever since I saw it, it always stuck in my mind. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Well, now we're talking.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
we're talking.
Favorite
Like
here.
the idea of something just like not being like what you thought it was, something that you can know for years, just not being what you
Like
know.
masquerading as a human.
Yeah. And just the ending always gets me. Even like, I saw it when I was like 6 years
Yes.
old, man. And every time I was just like, I'm a 6-year-old kid telling my dad, so are they safe? And he's just,
No,
Wait. You saw The Thing when you were 6?
yeah, my dad was like, because I was a punk ass, and my dad was like, I was like, nothing you show me is scary. And he was like,
Oh, yeah?
want to see something scary? He goes, this freaked me out when I saw it at 26. And I was like, all right. And yeah, I watched it with him. And I was just like, I was at shock and awe about the practical effects.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because,
So good.
in my mind, I'm growing up like 6 years old and stuff too. You're seeing like terrible CGI, everything like that.
Yeah, right?
Right.
And then seeing that, you're like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Wait, the dogs? Wait, what? And then at the end, I'm like, okay, so we killed them, right? No.
No.
I'm just saying. So, is Kurt Russell okay? Tell me Kurt Russell's okay.
and that, I really miss fucked up, ambiguous endings.
I know.
Yeah.
There was a movie I recently watched that got me like that. Was called PG-13. Called I Saw the TV Glow.
I've heard about that. Is it good?
One of those movies I heard a lot of people had a friend recommend it, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. It was on HBO or Max, and watched it, man. And by the end, I was just like, wow. I'm just sitting there, just like, I don't know what to feel, man. Like it leaves you with one of those endings where you're like, that's it. Oh, fuck.
People got mad at the ending of It Follows because they were like, well, what happened? What? If you watch that ending very closely, you know exactly what's going on.
You know what's going on, man.
Right.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
What's interesting is you guys more like physical horror. You're more like the psychological.
Oh yeah, because definitely after seeing Smile, definitely that how it leads up into the sequel. I mean, spoilers to anybody, apologies in advance as well. But of course, at the end, it shows you. You're not supposed to win against a demon.
Right, you can't.
So
right.
What's interesting is so that's a newer film. What about something like with The Innocents, maybe? So,
yeah, this is a classic ghost story movie based on the Henry James story, The Turn of the Screw. And this is, personally, it's my favorite haunted house movie. It's an older film. It's from the 60s, black and white, but it's so creepy. And if you like psychological horror, because there is a psychological element of, is this really happening or is this person having an episode? I think you would enjoy it.
Most definitely those old vintage 60 movies. I think an underrated psychological horror, even though there isn't a monster, would be What Happened to Baby Jane.
Oh, classic.
yeah.
I
Great.
believe,
Classic.
like, watching that, I was probably a teenager because the show Feud had come out.
Right.
Yes, great.
Yes.
Great show and everything, too. And my mom loved it. And she was like, oh, no, these actresses hated each other. And
Yeah.
they, like, my mom's like, yeah, they did a movie called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I'm like, that's the name of the movie. She's like, oh, we have to watch it. Watching it, man.
Nice.
And like, these women are hitting each other for real. Like 40-plus-year-old women hating each other. And then they were just forced to do a movie. And then you're watching it and just that reveal at the end. Like, even to this day, I still, like, every now and again, I'd be like, writing letters to daddy. Like, back in my head. And, like, there's nothing supernatural about it.
Right.
So
It's all character
grounded,
driven.
And that's what makes it just so much, like,
it's bittersweet at the end because we find out the truth,
And then you get that feeling.
They've been living a lie.
Yeah, like, and you just know everything you've watched for the past hour has just been like founded on bullshit and everything too.
Right.
And it hits you more, that zoom out of her on the beach and everything too. And just that punch in the gut, like that's how it ends? Like no repercussions, no nothing, none of the, big dramatic things that you would see from movies at that time, like Gone from the Wind, Wizard of Oz, everything from that where it, Hollywood had to have a happy ending. People went to the movies to have their spirit
Right.
pumped up. And then here you go watching a movie like that where you walk away like, imagine people around that time where they couldn't go online and go bitch like, hey, this freaked me out, man. You were just sitting at home drinking your 3 martini lunch.
You know what was great? What I loved about
Wait a minute,
Feud.
what's wrong with that?
No. What I loved about Feud, by the way, and I didn't know that they were going to do this, is there's a sequence where the Joan Crawford character is doing her last film, and it's the film Trog. And she had to share a trailer with the guy who played Trog. But she was the constant professional,
And that's the thing, man. Like, I think that also adds to a movie like What Happened to Baby Jane, if you know the deep history of like Joan Crawford, Betty Davis, and just even the state of Hollywood at that time and stuff too. Just like the lack of empathy in the world there and stuff.
Sure.
Like, well, you say that and stuff too, but you think about something like, look at a movie that you could have on another spectrum, Wizard of Oz, which had so many issues behind the scenes.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's a miracle it got even finished.
And then you go into it like a 16-year-old getting slapped because she couldn't get it together.
Yeah, I recently found out about that and read that story, and poor Judy Garland, what she went through.
I think it's one of the most heartbreaking things. If you ever see her towards the end of her life, Judy Garland goes, "All I did was sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and my life was ruined."
Yeah.
And,
But on a positive note, I think you guys were great, and you guys deserve a free gift. Thank you so much for stopping by, guys. Why don't you reach into the pumpkin and take a free gift? It could be zombies, it could be spacemen, it could be creepy things, who knows? Ooh, Skeleton Warrior. You guys got 3 different things.
Yeah, again, you guys could, trade.
Works out.
Hey!
Nice,
very
nice.
good.
Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Check out Monster Party.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, check it
Guys,
out. You'll love
thanks.
our
You guys
podcast.
are great. You guys were fantastic.
Thank you.
So, guys, I am here with, what's your name, sir?
Andy.
Andy?
Aaron.
Aaron, thank you so much for stopping by. I noticed this gentleman's shirt. And sir, can you tell me who is the character on this shirt?
The one, the only Godzilla.
Yes, and it's a Godzilla shirt that I've not seen, and it's beautiful. It's got this bright. Godzilla's kind of like green,
day glow
and it's
to it.
beautiful. And so of course I have to ask this gentleman, where did you get this shirt?
The Goodwill.
Wow.
Goodwill.
Every once in a while, you get lucky.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you get lucky, and every once in a while somebody is dumb enough to put it at the Goodwill.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Who would put
no taste.
Who
No
would bring
kind
a
of taste.
Godzilla shirt and to give it to Goodwill?
Somebody that does not know Godzilla, apparently.
Yes.
That's right. And I like that it's the classic Showa era 60s Godzilla.
Yes, it's the old school Godzilla.
Yes.
It's not the new school Godzilla with all these things that don't really matter.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, are both of you Godzilla fans?
Just him.
Okay. Now, what do you have a favorite monster?
I'm a big vampire. I like
Okay.
the ghost
How about if
vampire.
there were a giant vampire?
I would be into it.
There would
I'm
just
into it.
it would just shake up a building and then like pour the blood directly into its
All
mouth.
about it. I'm 100% into it.
But wouldn't you? But do you ever watch some of these Godzilla films with him and go, "Oh, that Baragon, he's scrappy" or something?
I'm a big fan of all the stop motion. I think
Okay,
the stop
like-
motion within it is very, very,
I have a
very,
question, Larry. Why are you
fun.
projecting all these things that you like onto them?
Well, first of all, I want to say she brought up stop motion, which is Ray Harryhausen, not so much
Finally,
Godzilla.
now
so
we can talk.
No one, unless you have seen Godzilla do his dance where he jumps up and
In Monster Zero.
has a happy moment.
has a happy moment.
many times
and
have we
then
felt that
if you
way?
have not seen Godzilla slide on his tail and kick someone,
Right.
then you have not seen Godzilla.
No.
Or fight a smog monster.
Or fight a smog
Yes, a smog monster.
I'm about the smog monster too.
Yes. That
Now-
smog monster movie is a great movie, don't you think?
I think it is.
Now, my friend, you have
don't
an
like
issue
it.
with the smog monster.
The only issue I really have is that the smog monster took too long to die.
Wow.
He was one of the toughest
was
adversaries.
tough.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's-
like that.
He's
Well, I
barely
think
made out of anything.
Well, I think
He's pollution.
Yeah.
he was tough because he's pollution, and he is an unnatural force.
True.
Yeah.
And he has basically everybody in the world giving him more strength. But
See, it's a very important film.
Yes, it is in the Godzilla world.
But the fact he was going against Godzilla, so you lost.
True.
It's not just an important film in the Godzilla world. It's saying something about pollution and about ecology.
And isn't that important?
Mental science, right?
Mental, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and see, to me, and we've talked about this many times on the podcast, what I love about the film is it's so odd because it's part like for little kids, and then just some elements are so horrific and disturbing, and it's all meshed together in this bizarre. It's the weird.
People turn into
yes.
skeletons.
It's the weirdest Godzilla
There's
film ever
nothing
made.
wrong with having the disturbing part and having all those things in the movie, because realistically, that's part of life.
Exactly.
There you go.
Right. You don't know what it's going to be
That's
like.
right.
So you heard it here that you can learn a lot about real life by watching Godzilla films.
You can
right.
learn everything about
Yes.
from
Absolutely.
Godzilla.
Absolutely. And you can learn how to be a proper parent.
True.
True. Yes.
Okay. How to teach your young how to breathe properly.
Yeah. Don't don't coddle them.
Coddle them.
How to stand up to bullies.
How to stand up to bullies.
Right.
You see?
I might have to get more into Godzilla after this conversation.
You don't breathe little circles. You breathe a stream.
That's right.
And if you breathe little circles, you're going to get your tail stepped on.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you,
Check out
thank
Monster
you.
Party. Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Cheers.
You know what's neat?
What is neat?
So here at Monsterpalooza, we've set up this booth, and James has done a great job of putting together a fantastic reel that shows
has,
just
yes.
clips of all kinds of things Monster Party has done throughout the year.
Our journey as Monster
Yes.
Party.
And when I'm watching, I realize it was 10 years ago when we went to Japan, because I'm seeing
right, yeah.
our beautiful Japan footage of going to the Godzilla slide, and I'm so glad we got that opportunity to do that.
Sure, yeah. I look forward to when we can all go back again together.
Yes.
And that day will come.
Yes,
You
it will.
all you guys have to do is just stay alive.
Exactly.
Do a push-up every once in a while. Eat a
Right.
salad.
Or a healthy sandwich.
Or a healthy sandwich.
You know
what? Get. And this is the this is what I do, because
Sprouts.
I follow the SHAWN Sheridan method. I get 2 slices of particle board, and then I put some Swiss cheese, and then dust, and it's.
Right. Maybe some sprouts.
Do you like sprouts on a sandwich?
Actually, I do.
I do too.
I never think to get them at the store that were making a sandwich.
No,
but,
right.
But I do.
when
yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great that we talk about sandwiches, but I did have a point, and that was,
No, you don't.
No, I did. I did. That I was admiring this great Japan footage, and I realized that James, not too long ago, went to Japan.
That's
right.
Yes,
That's right.
indeed.
It was without us.
That's right. Yes, it was.
Well, okay. I mean, it wasn't the same, clearly, and it was.
Clearly.
And it was more of a case of being grateful that we were all able to do it 10 years ago, because the odds were always against, coordinating it.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Everything lined up. The stars lined up, and we experienced the weather differences. We experienced the wonderful people of Japan.
Yes.
Like, I'll never forget 2 situations. One, the guys at the train station who worked there were so nice.
Oh, yeah.
And
The
so
best.
interested in when they saw that we were all wearing these matching T-shirts.
Yes.
Were very interested in what we were all about, and they were great. We took pictures, and then the kid on Ultraman screen.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, right.
With
right.
the backpack.
With the backpack, with the figures.
Do you realize he's got to be like 13,
yeah.
13 or 15 right
He's
now.
stealing cars now.
No, in Japan, no,
Tiny
no,
cars.
no.
Maybe he's
probably
here.
like 7 or 8 years old. So now he's
What?
like,
No, he wasn't
No,
8.
no, the little kid.
No,
little
I
kid.
would say 4, maybe.
3 or Yeah, it was
4.
really-
okay,
yeah.
All right.
Four-
Who are
four on a
you
good day,
remembering?
right? I mean,
Who are you
But
remembering?
okay, but look, they're
James had a different experience with, with an 8-year-old.
no. But there was a point I was trying to make.
Okay.
So James recently went to Japan. Now, it just so happens that at that same time, there was a guy in Japan who makes these specialty toys, okay? And when he makes them, he only makes about 10 or 15 or 20. A few
That's
run.
unheard
okay?
of.
No. This is very common. The company is called Tikiko Japan.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is this guy loves Creature from the Black Lagoon. And every once in a while, he'll make these special Creature from the Black Lagoon toys. Now, I'm on his Instagram thing because I'm waiting, because when he posts these things, they go fast. And it turns out he created a Creature from the Black Lagoon squirt gun.
Oh.
And I
oh,
go,
yeah, I think
oh my
I
God,
remember seeing that on
freaked
Instagram
out.
or something.
No, it's a new one
Oh,
that is
okay.
in the shape of an actual gun, but it's a squirt gun, okay?
interesting.
So I order it right away. Okay,
Money's no object.
No,
Just
well,
living in the street doesn't matter. Order the creature
It's a
squirt gun.
concept,
Okay.
not always an object.
Look,
I bought 3 of them.
Look, I don't have to
Did you
eat for
pay
the
with
next few days.
Bitcoin?
No, okay, listen. So I ordered this thing. I got the second to the last one. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So he sends a thing. He says, "Hey, Larry, I'm going to send it out." I'm like, "Oh, great!" Then all of a sudden, I get a new email, and he says, "Larry, I'm so sorry. Some American tourist tried to bring a gun through the airport. So anything that is shaped like a gun in Japan, they are not sending out.
interesting.
I can't mail this gun to you." And I'm like, what? And I freaked out, and I thought, oh my God, how can I get this gun? How can I possibly? Do I know anyone in Japan that could possibly bring the gun back for me? Turns out, James GONIS is in Japan.
Ah, okay.
And so I touched base with James. I got the contact information of where his hotel was. I told the guy at Tikiko Japan, can you send it quickly to James's hotel? He got it.
I got it within 48 hours.
48 hours.
Wow.
And guys,
Did you mule it back to the United States?
and so guys, I know this is great for radio, but I wanted to show you.
Jesus
he
Christ,
brought,
Larry,
he brought
come
it
on.
to me, and we're gonna take pictures. But here is the squirt gun, the creature squirt gun.
He's showing us nothing right
No.
now.
No.
He's showing
I am
us an empty box.
No, it's a
And we're
beautiful.
supposed to
This
imagine.
is pretty cool.
Look, come on, Matt. Look. But here's the funny thing. So look where you have to put the water in. You put the water
In his butt.
in the creature. Well,
That's amazing.
Yes, and then to squirt, you have to press his
Penis.
No, his little.
You know what?
gill thing.
I'm starting to like this more and more.
This is, I have to admit, this is
Reminds
pretty
me
cool.
of my youth.
That is pretty hilarious,
It's
actually.
now. Here's
I like
the
it.
bummer. The bummer is. First of all, James, thank you so much
My
for going
pleasure.
through all the trouble.
My pleasure.
Can I also point out too that the head and the rest of the body, let's just say they suggest a member.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Look at it. No, and it comes with a little ramp, so you could have him stand
yeah.
up as an angle.
That's hilarious.
So isn't that cute?
It is. It
Now,
is
but
great.
here's the thing. He says now it's not. He doesn't suggest you actually fill it with water and try to use it. You know, it's more like a look at.
But
thing.
also, I like that it's done as if it's like one of those kind of like cheap order from
Yes.
magazine kind of.
Yes.
And it's not even. It's called Monster Water Gun. I
Yeah,
love that.
Monster
It's
Water
really
Gun.
cool.
And that is something like if someone gave that to me, I
Yes.
would keep it in the pack.
Yes, for sure.
So now I wanted to show you that you had to get this with the other one. They came as a set. So I
Ah.
wanted to show you the other one that it came with. And it's a Frankenstein.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
And by the same token,
Very good.
That is
Matt, where do you put the
hilarious.
water in?
You put it right in his bunghole.
Yeah,
His undead butt.
I know, and then
What do you mean no?
Well, yes, you do, you do.
That is
and then
hilarious.
you pump his penis.
no, we'll show a picture of it on
and if
Facebook.
anyone
and-
disagrees with my description, They are fooling
But
themselves.
I love the face of Frankenstein.
It's
Look at that. Is that
I can see
hilarious?
this guy. He should do like the
like
Mummy,
it hurts,
the Wolfman.
but he kind of likes it.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, where was this squirt gun when we were kids?
yeah. Exactly,
It was
exactly.
outlawed.
That is great.
But you know what? The part that makes me laugh about all this is the idea that would go through customs.
Yes.
And someone would go up.
It's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
gun.
Got a gun.
It's a creature gun.
He's got a gun that is highly sexualized.
Very dangerous.
I bet there are bullets in it.
And then just look at the face of the creature. He's a bleh. It's like he's
And
spitting.
wait a minute, and it doesn't work. Is that?
Well, I think it's his safe way of saying, look, if it leaks or something,
Right,
you know.
right.
Leaks, okay.
The
Well, you could make it waterproof.
The creature face reminds me a little bit like the Super Soaky kind of look to
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yes,
that kind
yeah.
of look. That's cool. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, it came with. Oh, guys, it came with something free.
Oh my gosh.
Look, it came.
What is that?
It came with a little
piece of phlegm?
No, it came with the squirt gun. Another
a
Miniature.
tiny version. So,
Oh, it's
so
like a glow in the
this
dark
is-
or
So
something.
this is how this works. You put the first one in, and you can maybe get that in your, pleasure valve.
Please.
And then once you're used to that, then you move up to the next one.
Yes. So, guys, one thing I'm really excited about is for the first time ever, I have my sister Angela and her daughter Everly here to see Monsterpalooza for the first time. So I have to ask, Angela, Everly, what did you guys think of seeing Monsterpalooza for the first time?
I think it's amazing. I love it. I love seeing the art and the things that people can create with the horror genre.
Okay, well, now, is there anything? Now, I understand my lovely daughter and friend BB showed you around, right?
Yeah, we went to the museum and we went to the big room. We haven't done the smaller room yet, but we're getting there.
You've been doing a good job showing them around, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, is there anything that you've seen, like you went to the museum, did you see anything really cool in there?
I really loved the Baby Jane mask
Ah.
from the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I thought it was great, as well as seeing just all the lovely creations that people can create. I also loved this one booth. They're selling these werebabies.
What?
Oh yeah, we've
They're
seen
like-
those.
They're little babies. They feel and look like babies, but they're like furry and hairy, and
that would help me like children a little
they've
bit
got
more.
yeah.
Yeah, there you
My
go.
gosh, there's a great picture.
I swear it has a heartbeat.
Wow.
It has like a heartbeat or something in it too.
See, only here at Monsterpalooza can you find something.
A little fur werewolf baby. It's amazing. It's like those real life, baby dolls,
Yeah,
but
but they're
it's
monsters.
A monster baby.
So look, I know that I've wondered, have you come here before, but you were kind of timid about coming to Monsterpalooza, but
Well, I had no idea I was coming to Monsterpalooza till yesterday.
That's the best way to experience it.
But it's neat though, right?
Oh, it's great. I'm not able to stomach a lot of gore and stuff. I love monsters, horror genre in general, but it is hard for me to stomach a lot of the stuff. But coming here and seeing it displayed in such a way that makes it way more less scary and intimidating in a sense, it helps a lot. And I think it's great that I get to come here and appreciate it.
It's like movie magic.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
You got to see some makeup stuff?
Oh yes, the makeup. I've loved seeing people do the makeup and the monster and all the great creations people can make. They don't even look like people at this point. It's just like a rat guy. Reminds me of me.
Well, speaking of that, a long time ago, your Uncle Larry's a big creature fan. And you saw something at a Target years ago tell me about that.
So when I was 6, there was a creature from the Black Lagoon Target costume. And so what my mom did was we bought it, and it was my Halloween costume.
Nice.
Is that the greatest? Is that a niece? And you did a little video saying, "Hi, Uncle Larry, I'm the creature. I'm the creature."
Were you
I do
dancing
remember
like that? But he just did a little dance.
I may have done my own interpretive dance,
Okay.
Now, I'm so glad that you guys got to check everything out. But I did have a question for my wonderful sister. Now, Angela, I have to ask you, there is a very famous actress who was in a couple of, several science fiction films that Sean and Matt are big fans of.
Logan's Run.
And Saturn
Saturn 3, the sequel
And-
to Saturn 2.
And years ago, we know that James worked at Playboy, I did, Matt did, but you worked at Playboy, and one of your first jobs, you had to work with Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, but it was more like, office kind of stuff. So I would like bring stuff to her and her assistant and stuff and,
Yeah, but didn't she correct you?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she corrected my grammar, I handed her something. I said, "Oh, here's them." I don't know what I said. Something dumb, I guess. And she said, "No, these are they. These are they."
In her very Farrah Fawcett way.
Yeah, yes.
The last person you'd expect, really, to
Yeah,
give
that-
you a grammar lesson.
Exactly. That's what was so surprising about it.
So you didn't think of asking her, what was it like working on Saturn III with a really handsome, Kirk Douglas?
How was Kirk Douglas's
No.
grammar?
I think that her residence there was somewhat stressful for people. I feel like that was the general vibe.
Wow, that's so surprising. She seems like she was just a normal, down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's great. But I know that you guys, you've been looking around. You have just a little bit of time left. Guys, I'm going to let you get back. Thank you so much Angela, thank you for being supportive of Monster Party. Everly, thank you so much.
And
Kathy
keep
and Bibi,
practicing
you guys
good
are
grammar.
awesome. Thank you for showing them around. You guys keep having fun.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. What a Friday.
That's really crazy day.
This was such a Friday.
Yeah.
They say Fridays.
It felt like a Saturday.
It did.
Well,
it did.
Well, it's weird
Or
because
maybe even a Sunday.
for listeners who aren't really aware, the convention starts at 6 p.m. and closes at 11. So it's
Yeah.
late at
Right,
night.
Fridays is an evening
and we've
thing.
set up the booth and we're all exhausted, and now we have to come back tomorrow.
I know,
right.
but it's worth it. Because
Hell
it's
yeah.
like this expedition that we're on.
That's right.
And we're determined to make it to the end.
Yes.
To reach that summit.
That's right.
But right now we're wasted, and but it feels good. It feels good. I feel clean again.
Yes.
Do you?
I do.
Do you? Well, this has been great.
And I can't wait to
So I
do
guess
it again
that's it.
tomorrow.
I guess that's the end.
Some people have to go home and get some sleep for tomorrow.
Sure.
All right.
Because I got to get the rest of this voice.
Yes,
Right.
So,
Your golden chords.
yes. So
Well, speaking
on that
of
note,
yeah, thank you. On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong and just keep awake. Greetings, everyone. And welcome to the next chapter of Fright edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Oh, yes. It is the next chapter. It is day 2
Day 2
of Monsterpalooza 2025.
Monsterpalooza.
The big show.
Big show.
Another great
show.
con.
Big show.
Huge.
And it's been going great. Friday was exciting, scintillating, terrific. Lots of great stuff here at the con.
Yeah.
Lots of great cosplay. But more importantly, you guys.
Yeah, we're here together.
That's
Yes,
right, man.
It's nice.
This doesn't
Nothing
always
beats that.
happen.
No.
Yeah.
Not lately.
No.
We're meeting new people.
Yes, we're meeting new people.
Seeing old friends.
Seeing old friends.
New friends.
Making new friends.
Making new friends. Losing some friends.
There might be a few of those, yeah.
Making new enemies, perhaps.
Yeah,
I had
some solid enemies happening at this convention. So,
yeah.
No, it's
But it's been good.
It's been good. It's been
We
great.
still have our voices so far.
Yeah, the first night, I'm not gonna lie, I had terrible sleep. The night before, and so I was in some sad shape. But today I get here, I'm still tired, but God bless James Gonis, because I had this low blood sugar thing, and he pulled out some a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Happy to help.
And it set me right.
Sometimes you just need a little boost.
You
I'm
are
happy to help.
Dr. Feelgood in every possible way.
I got that white powder from Greece again, by the way, if you ever need that.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh, that I don't think I've come down from that since the first time.
But I had the same issue. It was hard for me to get a full night's sleep. There's so much to prepare for.
That's true.
Yeah,
So much that my mind was racing. Oh, did I remember to pack this?
Exactly.
You know.
And even if you feel like you're not stressed about it, like, okay, I got everything covered. There was a point where I'm lying in bed and I wasn't worried really about anything, but I was just wide awake.
Yeah.
And the minute you start to think about things like anything that is going to happen when you're conscious, you're done. There's no way you are going to go back to sleep. So I got up and I made some scrambled eggs and
wow,
washed the cat.
Scrambled eggs and washing the cat. This is great. This is great.
See,
but
let me point out something about Larry. Larry doesn't like regular human interaction.
No.
He's perfectly fine with bringing up the creature from the Black Lagoon 98 times.
Well, and by the way, it's Revenge of the Creature. It's its 70th anniversary this year.
Is it really?
But what about the people?
idea.
What about the people involved? What about the caterers that worked on Return of the Creature?
That's
Come on,
right.
we should talk about all of it.
Yes, I'm just saying we're here at Monsterpalooza. We've got monster stuff all over the place, and
Yes,
and
we
what'd you
do.
guys say? We've seen a lot of kids and families.
Yeah,
haven't
well, on the
we?
first day, yes, absolutely.
So already this is great banter. We've seen a lot of kids, and we've seen people.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. No, this is
And
great. Keep going.
We've talked to a lot of people about their favorite monsters or horror
Yes,
movies, and
yeah.
I'm surprised that the Terrifier has been like a big thing, hasn't it?
That's true. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Yeah, you happy
There's been some
now?
talk I am happy. Thank you. Have you noticed when it comes to asking people about their favorite monster? Have you noticed that sometimes we put them on the spot? Isn't that interesting? Like they're at a monster horror convention.
Yeah.
And they freeze up and they can't think of even one of them.
Oh, I see.
Although I sometimes, like, if somebody asks me, what's your favorite horror film? Like, I don't know how to answer that because that's like hundreds.
Okay, well,
You know?
you
But you
could
can
say
mention
that.
some-
You
yeah.
can say, I can go, excuse me, sir, you're Sean Sheridan. What's your favorite horror movie? And you go, well, there's so many to choose from.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I say.
And you could mention some of the classics,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
could go. Because I always like to go with something that is classic, like, okay, well, one of my favorites of all time is Night of the Living Dead.
Sure,
But,
sure.
but
Yes.
then there are some films that are a little bit off the beaten track, and
Right.
you know, maybe movies that people haven't heard of, like Death Dream.
Yeah, or Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Wow.
can have that. This is just a
Death
primer.
Dream.
We're now instructing you how to answer our questions.
No, because I think this is actually a criticism of, it's like, well, Larry, you're always asking, what's your favorite monster?
Is that
Well,
what you
I think
thought this was? This was a
yeah.
criticism of you. I was
Yeah.
talking about the answers. I wasn't talking about you asking the question.
But who's asking
But
the
now
question?
now that you bring that up, what is with that? Did you just keep-
See? That's what I thought. I knew. It's like, well, perhaps, Larry, you can ask a different question. Okay, how about this?
You are allowed to.
I could say, so, what's your favorite Woody Allen movie? Would you like that? I know
I'd like that. Yeah.
He'd like it. It is part of Monster Party.
You know, I've got to think on that for a minute because I don't even have an answer.
I just think since we're
What's
here...
your favorite Woody Allen crime?
No. It's day 2.
It is day 2.
And the first person to come up to our table...
A staple.
Yes, the pit bull of comedy, Bobby Slate.
You know, the only reason I come here, of course, is to get into Monsterpalooza early. I
Right.
figure you guys get me in early before the crowds get here. I got to
good
do
people.
your silly little podcast for all your imaginary listeners. No, I love coming here. It's great. You know, and this is the first year that, my friend, the friend I'm always, my friend Dale,
Yeah,
the
right,
musician
yeah,
from
Dale.
Florida.
Yeah.
Hanging around him is like having a child. When you go like Disneyland with a kid, you need a leash, like everyone, the
Right.
children on a leash. It's like you're walking through this place with him. He's got to stop. He's got to talk to everybody.
Oh, no, talking to
he'll go buy
people.
people coffee. He's got to pick out different kinds of socks, and then I got to go looking for him. I just made it through this whole place.
Wait, he likes to talk to people. You don't like to talk to people.
Because I save all my talking for you guys.
Thank you very
It's
much.
a podcast, and then I just walk around by myself. It's like when I remember on my honeymoon, I took my wife, we went to Paris. Everybody, got to go to the Louvre. I said, we'll be there for a day. They go, a day is not enough. You need 2 days at the Louvre. I walk in there, after an hour, okay, I saw, what is it, the
Mona
Mona
Lisa?
Lisa. And can we go now? And then I'm waiting for my wife, and she's looking at everything, and she's talking to people. And it took me, It was like 2 hours to get out of there. You know,
Talking to people can be exhausting.
And
As
doing
you
your
get
podcast.
older, it gets more and more exhausting.
This is really slowing me down just talking to you guys. I could have been out of here by now.
Well, I wanted to bring up something that I just saw recently, and I was so excited.
Let me guess. It has something to do with the creature?
No. Well, yes, we can talk about that. But I wanted to say, it's
CreatureCon.
John Stanley has this YouTube channel where he's been putting up all of these great interviews that he did back in the 80s.
Yeah, John said they from San Francisco.
Yes, and there was you, Bobby Slayton, and you were like young and scrappy, and you were like with the zingers, and you remember that interview?
Yeah, now I'm old and scrappy with the zingers.
Yeah, with the gags.
They don't quite zing like they used to.
Gags and the routines.
Not quite as scrappy as I used to be because my knees hurt.
Your skits used to be so frisky and fun.
Yeah. Well,
but you were like on fire, and you were like, "Hey,
I remember you say "hey" a lot back then. You "hey."
Yeah, I can bring that back. I think you're mixing me up with Fonzie.
No, but you had fun. You had fun on the show, Creature Feature Show with Sean Stanley.
Was I sitting there? Was he in the chair with the skulls?
Yes.
John Stanley took over from a guy named Bob Wilkins. Every city, I mean,
That's
Matthew
right.
grew up with those guys. Every
Sure.
city when I was a kid, it was Zachary and Sven Gulli in Cleveland and Chicago, and all these guys. Every town has one of these guys.
Yeah.
But Bob Wilkins and John Stanley weren't monsters; they were just straight regular guys, which
Yeah.
made them more scary. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
almost like
What's
Anthony
going on
Perkins.
behind the eyes?
Yeah, like Anthony Perkins in Psycho. You don't know he's a lunatic
Right.
because he doesn't have any monster makeup on.
No, but Bobby, I looked at it as they took their monsters serious, and I mean, John Stanley would always have great information.
not Bob Wilkins.
John Stanley had great information about the movie and the monsters and the people who were in it, and that's what I loved about John Stanley.
That's the one great thing about having a kid. As much as I hate kids, the only good thing about having a kid is I got to see movies like King Kong again, and The Wizard of Oz, which is it's still a fantasy film, but Jason and the Argonauts, and movies I would never watch because I grew up watching them so many times.
Right.
But to watch my kid watch them, and she always had questions. And I think
For
other
example?
people, when she was like 6 years old. She saw King Kong, and she said to me, "Why would they bring back a gorilla when they could get a dinosaur?"
That is a
and
very
that is a brilliant thing for a 6-year-old to say.
yeah.
And obviously, if they brought back a dinosaur, then you'd have the giant behemoth. Because anyway, it was Willis O'Brien, Harryhausen,
Right,
anyway. Kind of
right,
thing.
right,
So
right.
and he wouldn't have fallen in love with the girl. He would have eaten the girl. I get there would have been no movie there whatsoever.
Exactly.
Well, we're in the middle of an important interview. Nobody wants to talk to you. So last time I was here, we were talking about the robot. Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's interesting. Did you see all the stuff I gave you?
So Bobby gave me all these different pieces of media covering the robot, and then like a program.
The comedian robot, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, and like a flyer for like, hey, if you want to hire the robot, this is what he does. And
it's very funny. It's kind of. You had to sort of see it to believe it, but back then when we had the robot, it ran like a model airplane with servos, like a remote control plane.
Yeah.
And people were amazed by it. Now I think kids' toys are made better than that.
That's
robots
true.
Can
Yes.
hit
Yeah.
you, and I'll play you with chess and beat you up and eat you, and now you have real robots.
Yeah. Bobby, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think what you should do at the next Monsterpalooza, I think you should get that robot, and you could go around, walk around the convention, and do the little thing with the robot. You go, hey, how's it going over there? What are you dressed as?
Because Bobby loves talking to people. Even like through a robot would be even better.
It's hard
right?
to talking to Larry regular. Maybe the robot talked. But by the way, I brought you a gift. It's a re-gift. You still collect creature stuff, right?
Oh my gosh!
I have the creature candle.
I do not that. No.
It was given to me by a friend. My birthday last week, and my girlfriend had a little dinner party and told everybody no gifts unless you bring a bottle of wine, but make sure it's not a bottle that has to age too long because Bobby's 70. We don't know how long he'll be around for. So, everybody brought a bottle of wine, and then somebody brought me the creature back scratcher. You have one of those, right?
I don't. It's new, but I'm going to get it soon.
They sell them here. But they also gave me this candle, which supposedly smells like the creature's suit. Not like the creature. So I don't think you want a fishy candle burning. It smells like the rubber.
No, I don't want any kind of fish smell going through my house.
But what if the candle is Julie Adams? How would that be?
I want that candle.
That would be okay,
we're
right?
talking.
Little bit different.
But since we're talking about creature, can I just show Bobby something really quick that I know that he'll
You're going to
really
show him something on the radio.
Well, but I'm going to describe it.
I don't know. We've been having this conversation all week here about, when we're recording something and you show someone something, it's kind of a non-starter.
So like when Edgar Bergen had Charlie McCarthy on the radio.
Exactly, right.
And anybody could have done that. Okay.
But I know that you're a creature fan, and so you can appreciate this item. This is from Chica.
It's not for me. I don't want to see it.
Well, but I wanted to show you. I thought you'd get a kick out of it because you could use it in your act. You could say, hey, guys, I saw this new creature thing.
I'm retired.
Oh, no, you still do shows?
I do stand-up anymore.
Not anymore?
I've done it a couple of years.
Well, maybe at parties, okay? So look at
Do you want to?
look
Yes,
at this.
you entertain at parties.
From Tikiko,
still, right?
Japan, it is a creature squirt gun.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, and look where you have to put the water in.
Oh, in his butt.
And to squirt it, you have to press.
It's hard to. Are you really married?
Yeah.
I thought you'd think this is funny. I thought you'd think this is funny.
It's hysterical.
It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
it's,
okay.
He's easily pleased. It's the
very
little
uncomfortable with him shoving the mic
pleasures
my
in
face.
life for
It's better when I
Larry.
hold on to it. Okay, guys, smell this candle
I have
and tell
to
me
smell
what you
this.
think it
Yes.
smells like.
Okay. I'm
I was
smelling.
told it was
I'm
the
smelling the
creature
candle.
suit.
Yes. Yeah, it does. I think it's interesting too to have something that smells like the toxic fumes
Yes.
from latex.
Well, that's for you. Yeah, and you can light that while you shoot. While you load the creature's ass with water, and you can try to shoot the candle out. There you go. Now you have a. There you
Now
go.
it's a game.
There you
Yeah,
go. You have a
it's a
little carnival game there, Larry.
But it smells like it's a sweaty rubber suit.
Right.
Speaking of the
I don't
mic,
know what
Larry.
it is, but you can have it as for you. So anyway, so this year, my friend Dale didn't come, which is great. I didn't have to have him with me. So my girlfriend for the last, we've been together 10
She's
years
not here,
already.
is she?
Huh?
She's not here, is she?
No, but
she would
every,
never come to the
every
place
year
like this,
as
right?
a joke, I say to her, "You want to go to Monsterpalooza?" And she
Okay.
not only says no, but she's very adamant about it. I know she's not going to go, and then it's become a running, I guess, gag. And she'll always say to me, "Well, why are you inviting me? You know I'm not going to go." I think you might want to go, And I send her pictures back. I show her the makeup table, and
Very
I tell her
interesting, yeah.
it's a spa that she can relax by the spa. I have her makeup done. I don't tell her she can have giant pointy ears and a big giant nose, and and devil eyes. But I go,
These are the before pictures. You
well,
tell
yeah,
her,
but I tell
right?
her, you're always getting manicures and pedicures and facials. Why don't you try something different? Become one of us. Become one of our people, like the undead, the living dead, the walking dead. So
could happen.
This year, she says to me, because it was my birthday last week, she says to me, I said, "You want to go to Monsterpalooza?" She goes, "If you really want me to go, yes, I'll go." And I go, "Oh, shit, she's going to go."
Oh, no.
Now I had to try to talk her out of it.
So how'd that go?
It went fine. She didn't really want to go. But
okay, good.
Here's what's interesting. She'll say to me all the time on my birthday, if she says to me, "You want me to make you dinner? Do you want to have sex? You want me to give you a back rub? You want me to wash your car? You want me anything?" But the one thing I didn't want her to do is come to Monster. It's good enough I got rid of my friend Dale. Now I got a fucking broad walking around behind me.
Right.
And look at all this stuff. And then, So,
Is the car wash though? That's what I want to know. Did she did all the other stuff instead?
She won't, no, but if she did that, I'll tell you one thing she won't do. I can't get her to do it. Is watch Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. My favorite movie of all time.
That's the perfect entry point for horror and comedy.
We know that.
Yeah.
I know that. We all know that. But try to explain that to a woman, You just can't-
Does she have a problem with black and white too?
Just black. Just blacks. Who doesn't?
Oh, no,
he's
come
back.
on now.
He's back.
Come on. We're joking.
We tease, we
I haven't
kid.
lost it.
He's the pit bull of comedy, folks. Come on.
You have to put a disclaimer on there, right?
I know, right? Yeah.
Like any black people listen to this show.
We have all kinds
we
all
had
kinds of
Brian
people.
Copeland on the show. Just
And who else? The guy from I Walked with the Zombie? Yeah.
yeah, he's at like 140 now.
Yeah. Here, you can have this back.
Well, this has been great, Bobby. Thank you. So, I'm just saying.
You're gonna end it again.
No. It's been great. So, is there anything you're looking for? Are you looking for other creature stuff?
No, I quit collecting stuff. I was looking for one thing. You know what? Interesting that I haven't seen a lot of here, and I was really looking for it. Every model, every mask, everything. I haven't seen very much London After Midnight stuff. There's one guy has a statue, but everybody has all different posters and pictures and models and things.
There's a beautiful NECA figure that you can get that's fairly recent.
It's very what?
NECA figure. The company NECA puts out these really highly detailed. They did an amazing job on a lot of the other Universal.
Oh, really?
monsters.
That's the one thing I want is a London After Midnight statue in my office.
A statue. You want?
Not a whole human. Not like Uncle Bobby over there.
No.
Not a
But
whole
like a
figure.
bust or something, right?
Huh?
Like a bust.
Like a bust.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of a bust, this is great doing your show. Nice ending. I know how to wrap it up. Kids.
Well, Bobby, thank you so much for my wonderful creature candle. I love it.
I'll see you guys next year.
And thank you once again for my Hello Kitty Gene Simmons that you gave me.
Oh, right. And lunch.
And lunch. From Gene Simmons' own house, right?
Right, from his house.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I can sit and drop names all day, but that's the only name I could drop.
No,
I don't really know many other people.
That's
By
a
the
whole
way,
episode.
So next week, no more gifts, but we're having lunch.
We're doing it.
And you give me back my robot material.
Yes, I will. Yeah, no, I
You're holding
haven't,
that over my head.
I haven't posted it yet because I wanted to have this happen. So to create some excitement for it. So you're going to see that, folks,
Sounds
online.
Good. All right.
Bobby, thank you so much for stopping by.
And that's Sean Sheridan. He just got here.
Yes. Yeah, I just decided to come by.
Where were you?
Traffic.
Yeah, a little bit of.
I gotta have a oomph to start the day.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much, man. Great to see you. Thank you. Hey. You know, guys, isn't it great that every time we come to Monsterpalooza, I get gifts. People bring me gifts.
Amazing.
You get
Bobby
gifts.
The world
Sling
just
gave
loves
me
you.
this lovely candle.
That is literally the type of thing that you would want, and that
Right.
I can't imagine anyone else wanting it.
No, you know what, Matt? I have to agree because I smell it. It does smell like the inside of
Toxic waste,
No,
yeah.
it smells like the inside of a rubber suit, kind of
Which is
sweaty.
Toxic
interesting.
fumes.
With a hint of pine.
Yeah, and
With a hint of pine.
because we all know that suit was made partly with pine.
Was it?
Right,
You know what?
Yes.
That company should do?
Yes.
Is that they should do a lip balm with that aroma and call it Ben Chapstick.
Ben, no.
There you
They
go.
couldn't say chapstick.
Oh, well then it won't.
Chapman stick.
Well, there you
maybe.
go. Okay,
you are,
okay.
you never get into advertising.
Mr. Literal.
Never. Do not do that whatsoever.
Whoa, no, because
Ben
you can't.
Chapstick
No,
is great.
No, because
But
there
he's
is
got
a
a point. It's a-
licensed
yes, a copyright.
product called
But
Chap.
let's
No, you can't. You would be
You would
sued.
call it Ben Chapman
what-
stick, named after Ben Chapman, who was the actor in Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is made in.
So we're going to put that on the
Well,
product.
listen,
Yeah.
We're going to put that on the product.
For argument's sake and for fantasy's sake, let's say we strike a deal with Chapstick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Chapstick, the people at Chapstick go, you know what? We are really ignoring the Creature from the Black Lagoon
Right.
shoppers.
Or the fans. The fans out there.
Yeah, and so, we'll market this, and maybe it's a seasonal thing.
No, I think going down that road, I think what they would say is, hey, there's a market we haven't tapped into. The Creature from the Black Lagoon people.
Right.
You know, and I have to tell you, if I saw a Ben Chapman stick chapstick,
Right, you'd buy the box.
I would buy the box.
You know what's interesting about this time in Monsterpalooza is that we don't really talk about the creature that much this time.
No, I haven't. I've noticed that.
I'm
Sean.
missing that.
Jesus Christ!
We used to talk a lot about the creature.
Three fucking
Okay.
movies, all right?
Okay. Yes, and it just so happens that this year they're celebrating the 70th anniversary of Revenge of the Creature.
I believe you said that right.
What's wrong? No. You can't be done celebrating.
I am
this,
done.
This is Monster Party, not Monster. Oh, I'm done party.
No,
That's what it
you can
is.
celebrate to your heart's desire.
Yeah, and I like to celebrate.
Yes, and I love the creature. But
And here's a young man. Hey, sir, how are you, sir?
Don't you interrupt me.
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. What's your name?
Aaron Newworth.
Aaron, and this is a great shirt.
You got a
fan of my Michael
Halloween
Myers t-shirt.
original Halloween T-shirt. Love it.
Yeah,
It's a great shirt.
It's weird. I'm a big Godzilla fan. It's the one day I have so many Godzilla shirts. I didn't choose one. I'm like,
nice.
it's
Wow,
Michael
we should
Myers.
You should take one of our flyers.
I got one of your flyers.
Because
All
it's
right.
it's not Godzilla.
No, it's a kaiju monster doing a
Inspired.
science experiment.
Because there's no way that we would want to, get on the back
Use
side of
a
Toho.
licensed character.
It's funny you mentioned that. I host a podcast called Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla.
Are you kidding?
Whoa! Tell me
That's
about this
awesome.
podcast.
Give a card.
I wish I had a card on me, but if you look up Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, you'll find everything you
There's so many
need to know about
podcasts
me.
called that. Yeah.
We should, because we should have you on our show.
I love doing podcasts.
Yeah.
No. We should have him and the other guy.
Well, both of you, yes.
Yeah, I'm Aaron. My friend Terrence. We're both film critics, and I'm a huge
Nice.
Godzilla fan.
Awesome.
He's Godzilla curious, as I like to call it.
Nice.
So I've seen all the Godzilla movies. A big fan. He's only seen a couple of them. He saw -1, and he thought it was incredible. And I'm like, you're right. And he was like, we should do a podcast. podcast about this, and I'm like, that sounds like a fun idea.
So wait, but that was like the only one he's seen?
He'd seen the legendary ones, and he'd seen the
what about the classic?
No, I don't want to
60s?
knock the legendary ones.
I do.
You know what? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and we
I'm
can
going
too.
to knock the legendary
He's
ones.
seen the 54 one, and he's seen the legendary ones, and he saw Roland Emmerich's movie that happens to have a creature
If
in it
you even
called
count
Godzilla.
that, yeah.
So he was very curious, like, I want to see the rest of these now after seeing -1. So we've been
Nice.
doing it. It's a bi-weekly show, and we've been watching them in chronological order. We watch one together, then we immediately record afterwards. It's super fun.
Great.
That's
And
cool.
because we're so busy, bi-weekly's been great because we've been able to like build these up.
That's what we do too. Yeah.
And here I have a question for you because yesterday we
I can
had
hold this
someone
if you want.
come by.
Well, then I don't get to talk, but you know it's my show. So
Fair enough.
It's your show.
Our show. Sorry.
Wow. This is a very special Monsterpalooza we're having this time. But so we had somebody come here yesterday who was talking about the smog monster.
Hedorah.
And Hedorah,
right,
yes.
that's right.
And he seemed to think that it was one of the lesser films.
Oh.
And you know what? By your reaction alone, I love you. Because,
Me too.
Because that's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so bizarre.
It's insane. It's psychedelic.
It's so bizarre that the director they hire, because they usually have Shiro Honda or Joe Fukuda,
That's right.
they have this director in here who was like a longtime worker for Toho, and he made the film, released the film, didn't do great, and they're like, you're fired. Like,
That's right.
Exactly.
I wanted to see more Godzilla
Yeah,
films
he was
from him.
blackballed. That's the thing. He eventually comes back to Toho, and he's the reason we have the Monsterverse. He shepherded the deal between Legendary and Toho
Really?
to make the Monsterverse
The
happen.
director of Hedorah?
Yeah, the director of Hedorah. Yeah. The name.
I did not know that.
Yoshimitsu Banno.
That
who
is
passed away in
interesting.
like
I did not know that.
2017 or something like that. So he got to see the first one that came out. He's still credited as a producer on, I think, all of the legendary ones right now.
That's
Smog
cool.
Monster's so
not
great.
know
It's
this.
it's the first one you see Godzilla toys. There's animation in it.
Funky movie, right?
Well, and also just the design of Hedorah.
Oh my God, it's great.
It's one of my favorite
Yes.
kaiju,
Uh-huh.
and Sean and I, we both have these Hedorah collections
Yes.
where it's
Multiple
every weird
toys.
different,
I
with
see all these around here at
glitter.
Monsterpalooza, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't have
Yes.
the money for this, and let
yeah.
alone the shelf space. But oh my God, would I love to have
That's
a
always the
collection of
problem.
Hedoras running around.
And you know,
My favorite one is like an anatomy one where you can see through.
I have a Mecha Godzilla shirt of that. That's like the half. It's like
yeah.
anatomy of
Nice.
Mechagodzilla.
Great.
Nice.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
and, speaking of the legendary films, regardless of what we think about the legendary Godzilla movies, and what I'm guessing your co-host is like too, is those movies get people interested in the other earlier
Yeah,
Godzilla films if
for
they
sure.
never heard of
Right.
those. So it's like
hopefully.
watch the legendary films, like okay, whatever. But then okay, let's check out the whole history of Godzilla in cinema.
Kids.
Between these and the success of -1, which did really well in
Yes,
America,
yes.
unheard of in the
Yes,
way it did.
yes.
Oscar
It's
winner.
the Oscar-winning Godzilla.
I cried.
When the idea that I was crying multiple times at a Godzilla movie is like, I never thought this would happen.
Right.
But I think it's made Godzilla like it's at peak popularity again. Like
I
about
know,
as popular
I
as
know.
Godzilla
You're
can really
right,
get,
yes.
which is
Yeah.
as a kaiju fan from way back. I'm not that old, but
We are, so, yeah.
I'm very happy to see it. I mean, I think a lot of
Yeah.
Godzilla fans are happy to just see the King of the Monsters like riding up to the top again. It's
Absolutely.
Really cool
Well,
to see.
and then Godzilla is this character that you can put in so many different styles of film.
Uh-huh.
Because Godzilla -1 is really this serious drama
Yeah.
with some very heavy themes, and compare that to Godzilla's Revenge, and it just goes to show you that character works in almost anything. I want to see him do a Neil Simon comedy.
No. But I think what's so beautiful
Thank
about
you
that.
for negating every fucking thing
I
I'm
know.
saying.
But you know what's really cool is that's the one film that, like, my older brother was going to bring his girlfriend, who's not into monsters, and he says, "No, trust me. Let's see this together." And she was blown away. It was the first Godzilla movie. She had seen that. She said, "This is really good."
My friends at work, people I work with, some are friends. I was telling some of them that like are more moviegoers than I am. Like, hey, you know, I love Godzilla. This movie, it's not just the fact that I love Godzilla. This is just a good movie. And the number of people that got back to me saying, this was amazing.
Right.
They told their friends. The word of mouth on this, and that's what it was when -1 came out. It just became a hit. It's because people kept telling people like,
Right, word
this
of
isn't
mouth.
just a movie. This isn't just a Godzilla. This is a movie. Like people love this, and it was great to see.
Godzilla, kind of like the character of Batman, you can interpret it many different ways.
That's
You
true,
could
yes.
put him in any kind of different universe or situation or style, and it could be cool.
Which I think is reflected in the popularity of both the legendary and these recent two Godzilla movies.
Right,
I think
right.
There's room for all of them.
Shin Godzilla, which I think is underrated.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I think that there are so many satirical moments in that film that it's almost like Godzilla is a side character, and it's really all about the bureaucracy of Japan. You know, there would be problems with jurisdiction over who would deal with the Godzilla problem.
See, some people have a problem with that. That was one of my favorite parts because you don't see that in any Godzilla movie. That whole sequence when the guy says, "Okay, the monster's in range. Can I fire?" And has to go through all this series. Oh no, you can't fire. There are people
There's
there.
a guy there, yeah.
And there was this process, and it's like how frustrating. And that's actually what it probably would really be like. And that's not in any Godzilla movie. So I know there are people who don't like it, you know, but
I'm not the biggest fan. And recently I watched them back to back, Shin and minus one. And man, Shin did not look good compared to minus one.
That's so unfair, though.
I'm just saying.
Apples and oranges.
I'm just saying.
They're doing different things. I can understand.
Different things.
It was my takeaway. That's all.
I mean, Godzilla minus one, which I love. Also, I love them both very much. They're both top 5 Godzilla movies for me at this point. Like minus one is it's a much more visceral movie, right? It's really hitting you in the emotions.
Right, yeah. Serious drama.
It's
The other
focused
ones-
specifically on characters, where Shin is a much more. It's more in the classic line of here's an ensemble council group. We got to do different things.
I've always
or
said that.
whatnot.
Satirical.
Yeah,
It's like Dr. Strangelove.
Yes,
Godzilla.
yes,
exactly.
It's
That's exactly how I described it. Yeah.
Kubrick doing like a cold, calculating Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't like Kubrick, so.
Well, maybe that has something to do with it.
You know, the one thing I've learned about this is we've got to have you on our show.
I know. Yeah,
I mean,
you're
we
fantastic.
Take a flyer and hit us up on social
we
media.
bring in
we'll
other
find you, we'll find
podcasts, and we talk to other folks that are at other podcasts. And I would love to have you guys on because if your friend is like, well, he kind of knows Godzilla, it would be great to have him on with you because
We'll
as you
school
can
him.
see, we don't. But you see, we don't always agree on stuff.
Almost never.
My friend and I, he's very much. He'll tell you what he feels, you know, and in a good way. But like if he doesn't like something, he's not going to make it up.
And you see
And so we're talking about these movies, which yes, they're coming from a certain time period, and not all of them are going to get the same reaction. We watched Son of Godzilla the other week, and he was worried how I was going to react to his thought on it because he thought that I just love all the Godzilla movies. By the time we got to the end of it, he was like, I didn't like this. I was like, don't worry, Terrence. Nobody likes this movie.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Can't Terrence get back into that mind when he was 12 and you guys have some popcorn or something? And
the other ones of that same time. I mean, it's not. Yes, Son of Godzilla has a sort of cheesy appeal, but let's be honest. Like it's not.
No, but after he watches Godzilla's Revenge, Son of Godzilla's going to look a little better.
See, again, now I disagree with this.
Oh.
Godzilla's Revenge is a great kids movie.
It's very much angled. It's more angled that way in a way that I think can be appealing, but they're so shoddily made. I mean, it's like,
the fact that you have little Manila or Minya, or whatever you want to call him,
over here,
talking like Barney Rubble with his pal, and it's so bizarre. I remember seeing that as a kid and going, "This is insane."
we just saw Destroy All Monsters at Vidiots over here in LA and Glen.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I like the Vidiots.
Eagle Rock, and I just described it to him because again, he's going into most of these blind. He doesn't know who's going to be in it or whatnot. I described it to him as the Avengers of Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
and so we got in there.
absolutely.
We're seeing all these monsters. In preparation for it, we watched Varan, Rodan, and Mothra on their own.
That's a great idea.
Varan is terrible, but it's hilarious to see him in the background being like, "And Varan!"
Cameo.
Flying squirrel.
But then Manila comes on, and he's like, "Oh, not this ugly thing!" Like that was his reaction.
But you know, how can you not be touched at the end of Son of Godzilla? We're in the snow and he's cuddling little Minya. That's a beautiful moment.
I love that. I don't hate Son of Godzilla. It's just more like that's clearly in the bottom realm of Godzilla.
No,
I still like
don't
it.
hate any of
I
these movies.
still
There's too
like
much
the
charm
man-
in all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But for sure, that final image, I do love that. That's something I do love from that.
I'm looking for there's a snow globe of that.
That's a great idea.
I have it.
That'd be a
Get
great
me
story.
one.
I'll look for it.
Yeah,
All right,
seriously.
I want one too.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you guys just doing this all day?
I want to say thank you so much for stopping.
This is fun.
Yes.
We have
please.
got to get you and your buddy on the show.
I'd be happy to be a part of it. That'd be great.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Podcast helping podcast.
Yeah.
Cross
Card,
promote.
I'll follow you guys. We'll figure something out.
Yep. Sounds good, man.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers,
What-
man.
What was your name again?
James.
Aaron. Nice to meet you, Matt.
Sean.
You got to take our hetero flyer.
Nice.
And you know what I love about hey,
is back.
Serendipity.
It's Joe Mo.
Joe Mo.
Joe Mo.
Yeah.
Of
Hi,
course,
guys.
Joe Mo is going to be a
My Monster
Monsterpalooza.
Brothers. I get to see you at least once a year.
That's right.
worthwhile for me.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. I was talking to someone who was at an auction house just recently, and I think, are you still doing the auction?
I am. I'm still selling stuff that I can't afford to people who can.
Exactly.
Every day, yeah. Stuff we'd all want, though. So.
What's amazing about you is you worked at Profiles of History for years, and you've gone to other places. But it's like you get to see these items up close, rare,
touch them,
Hollywood
lick them,
memorabilia.
Get to pretend they're mine for about 3 months, and then we sell them to the people that can take care of them. So.
Nice.
And your job is you have to describe it, and sometimes you told me.
I'm a consignment director now, so I bring the things in. I go and separate things from people that don't want to let them go sometimes. And I'll tell you how I do it. I quote Forey. When I meet an old timer that has something for 50 years that's worth a lot and means a lot to them, I end up being a bad business person and saying, listen, keep it, which I'm not supposed to do. But then this usually works. Well, you know, my mentor, Forey Ackerman, used to say, well, pal, I've taken care of it a long time. Now it can take care of me. And eyes kind of widen, and people start thinking about the Bahamas, and then I get it. That's how it works.
That's great.
I'm so happy to see you. I love you so much. You know, we were talking not too long ago about the show we did with you and Barbara Lee on our show, and it was the Forey Ackerman type thing, and it was just such a heartfelt episode. And I'm glad to see that you're still in the world of like memorabilia.
I wish I was more in it. You know, I after the pandemic, and you know, we're all getting up there, and there's personal stuff that happens. It took other people to make me realize I was kind of isolating, and I need to come out and be among my people.
Right.
Be together with you guys, and I mean, this is like this is the fountain of youth for us, isn't it?
Sometimes that's the hardest thing. Is like, you want me to go out?
Yeah. It's true. You know, they say about depression, the thing you got to do is get out, and it's the last thing you're going to do.
That's
right?
I know. Yeah.
And also, what we do too is since we collect, we have our whole little world that we've created. So we have tons of friends.
I love that you say we collect in that way, because I had friends who were so freaked out about ever imagining Forey was dead. They'd say to me, "What are you going to do when Forey can no longer collect?" which meant he died, right?
Wow. Yeah. Are you here the whole weekend?
No, this is, you know, Elliot was nice enough to invite me to come, and brought my friend Caleb, who's never been to HorrorCon, who's a horror kid through and through.
Nice.
And we're just exploring and seeing old friends and making new ones, and you know what we do here in our genre.
Well, just really quickly, I know that Matt and I and Sean have been on Collector's Call, and I was surprised to see you on Collector's Call with Rich Carell with his collection.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Perfect.
It was really fun.
He has kind of an okay collection, I guess.
all right.
Yeah,
Right,
he's a few things.
He'll never let anything go, but then, you know, we're used to that, right?
Rich Carell has one of the largest collections of movie prop figures, costumes, and it's just unbelievable.
I think of him as the ocean. You know, when you look at the ocean, there's miles and miles of water, and that's just the top of it. You know what I mean? And that's Rich. You see his museum and stuff, but he's got warehouses full of
I just want to say for the record that I am very fond of him. And, you know, I'm just saying, sometimes, as you say, you have so much stuff that maybe you need to shed a little bit of it. And, you know, I'm a good friend.
Yeah, some things should fall off a truck every now and then.
Who's going to miss it?
If you wanted the TV, you know, you make sure one fell off the truck, right?
For listeners who aren't familiar with the episode, at the very end, you were like the expert to kind of give an idea as to what the collection was worth, and then you guys were going to try to make a trade. And the item that you had to trade was very special.
It was a little miniature of Forey's first Acker mansion that was made by Walt Doherty, wife. And it was beautiful, and Rich still has it. He promised me he'd display it for a while. It's going to belong to me. He'll let it belong to all the fans that come and view it. And hopefully, you know, it'll come back to me when I can have space to keep it.
But the thing that I thought was so...
trade, though?
No, that's just it.
Trade.
It was a beautiful thing, because what happened was he couldn't make the trade because Rich is like us. It's hard for him.
Hotel. Things go in and they don't come out.
But Joe, this beautiful man said, you know, but Rich, this should be in your collection so other people can see it.
Yeah, which I should have said, I don't have room for it. Will you hold it for me for a while? No, really. I wanted, well, look, how did Forey get all his stuff, his Dracula stuff? Sheffield said, I can't, nobody's going to see this with me, Forey. Uncle Forey, take it and you'll show it to people.
Right,
So
because you become
that's sort of
a
the spirit of
curator
Forey.
and a steward for this stuff, you know? Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's been great over the years is that people know through this podcast and just the people that know us that we are collectors, and so we get given things quite a bit. And
We're all glamorous hoarders, right? I
Yeah, exactly.
It could be newspapers and bottles of urine. We just happen to like nice stuff, right? That's the only difference.
Hoarders
That's the only
with
difference.
taste.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Yeah.
Right.
And I do have the bottles of urine. They just happen to be Peter Cushing's.
Right.
Oh, no.
much you want
okay,
for that?
okay, that's a joke. He's telling a joke.
no, he's not telling a joke.
No, it is a joke.
He has
Well,
bottles of
no.
Peter Cushing's
No,
urine.
Can you imagine
and
him
I
giving
will-
them to me? Here, son. I made them myself. You know.
How much for a teaspoon? I'm just saying.
You know, it's funny when the word got out that at Universal Studios they were going to get rid of the Lagoon. You know, I talked to David Scout. He said, "Oh my gosh, I had to go and get water out of the lagoon because that's where they shot, the creature." And he says, "Larry, it's the most polluted water in Los Angeles. The creature's in there going, can't really breathe." But I mean, I don't know if he has much of the liquid left because it's kind of
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. That's why you got to get a good. That's why when you were with Peter Cushing, you got him after there was a kegger.
Yes.
And so you got a lot of it.
Right.
You know, Joe, I have to say it's been so great to see you. We had such a great time with you the last time. We'd love to have you back if you're...
Yeah.
Anytime. You guys are family. I'm so happy to
Likewise.
see you. I'm ashamed that we don't see each other more often. You give me access to the rest of my family out there in listener land, and I'm just grateful that you guys make space for me. I love you guys.
And is there anything else you want to plug or...
Just come watch Studio Auctions. We're about to make a big merger that will benefit. If you have any friends that have things that they don't want to be buried with, want to turn into money, we're your place. Studio Auctions. You can call me personally, but we'll be merging. So watch what happens.
Okay.
We're
Sounds good.
like feeding a mugwai, feeding a gremlin after midnight. Watch what happens.
Nice.
I love it. Joe, thank you
Thanks,
so
Joe.
much. I love you so
Joe.
much,
Joe.
man. I love what you...
Always
Good to
great
see you. I'm
you.
so happy to see you.
Yeah.
You guys always make a space. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Take care, Joe. Hey!
Uh-huh.
Look at this guy!
Most devoted
See you.
listeners.
Good to see you, Larry.
It's Mark Ram
Mark Ram. Sean. And
with Tom Servo.
Yeah, with Tom Servo, enjoying
Amazing.
the con. I did
Very
bring
nice.
the devil's left hand, or is it the right hand? The
Ooh, nice.
the devil's right hand. I need you
forget
guys.
which.
Mark, let me get a photo
They're
real
both
quick
evil.
with you and Tom.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask this. So the character, this is from MST.
Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's Tom Servo, but he's very easy to build. It's like the bubblegum head is from Amazon. A lot of the parts are from a dollar store. Like the chest piece is from Legos. You can go to Etsy and get like a real professional looking one
It's a
that
nice-
matches a screen match.
It's
like
great,
it's
yeah.
$500. But you can find the pieces, and in the spirit of the show, when they were building those robots,
Right.
they just threw it together.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's out of pieces and parts. And,
Oh, he works!
yeah, he works.
That's nice.
The mouth
Great.
moves up and down, so it's.
What's his voice? What does he sound like? Matt, you can do the voice, right?
Don't put me on the spot.
Oh, no?
I'm James Mason.
Was it J?
That is so great. I'm so impressed when people make things like this.
Yes,
It
yes.
looks exactly...
And he got the gizmonic,
Well,
gizmonic
and I don't know about you, but I am getting into this space where if I make it, I almost like it even more. Because
Right,
I
right.
got from Blast from the Past this wonderful sideshow lawgiver statue. And it didn't come with the base. So I made the base out of air dry clay.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
And I took my time, because that's always the key. Don't rush this thing.
Right.
And I got it all together. And I'm telling you, I matched the paint. I really paid attention to detail. And it came out really nicely. And I am at this place where every time I walk by it, I stop and look at it.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't do that to everything I own.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're the same way.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. This was a lot of fun too. And actually, this part when I was jogging, I found the shoulder parts on the side of the road.
On the side of the road.
Oh, always
side of the
looking.
road.
Always,
So
yeah, that's
it's
cool.
almost
I
like
hope
the-
you disinfected that. They used it in a murder or something.
But isn't that like Lost in Space? Didn't they find stuff on the side of the road and they just spray painted
That's
it
right.
silver?
That's right.
And brought
Yeah.
it in.
So are you here for the whole weekend?
Just for Saturday.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah,
Are you here
just-
with your family, with your wife?
Oh, actually.
Oh, you lost them.
I lost them. It was actually this one guy from scouting. His dad isn't into horror films, but he is. So I brought him along. Actually, he watches.
nice.
The odd thing is, though, he watches horror films on YouTube. He watches synopsis, and instead of the whole film, and it's blasphemy.
same.
Like even my sons were like, "What is going on?" You know. But it's crazy. But I did want to ask you guys. I know you weren't quite a fan of Andor 2. Right? I mean, Andor. You weren't really a fan of season 1. I thought, Sean, you were like...
I liked I season 1, and I really liked the
Season 2 is... okay.
Season 2, I watched the first one, and I have never been more bored.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
There's the TIE fighter thing
The
flying
TIE
around.
fighter stuff is
TIE fighters.
Again, the main guy is not
Yeah,
interesting
he doesn't do it for you.
whatsoever.
Huh, interesting.
And I feel like all this palace intrigue that I'm supposed to be interested in
Yeah.
is just it doesn't grab me.
It doesn't... Wow.
To me-
Okay.
But I liked the first season. I'm having a little trouble with this one so far.
Really?
It could get better.
It
I
gets
don't know.
pretty amazing. I mean, I
Okay.
think I think it's the strongest, by far the strongest Star Wars series. Maybe even in some ways better than Mandalorian because it's a Game of Thrones level drama, and it's not for kids.
Yes.
There's things in this that whoa. I mean, I didn't never seen that in a Star Wars universe
There's
before.
no salacious crumb
No,
in it.
it's done.
See,
it's
maybe
very
that's
serious.
what I'm missing.
All right.
There's
That
not enough.
IG-88, I know you're like
there's,
IG-88.
There's not enough sexy Jabba ladies. But you know what? It's one of those things where I feel like it's a taste thing. I don't think it's a bad show. And if you find what's his face charming,
Diego
to you.
Luna, yeah.
but I think that maybe it's just a taste thing, and I'm hoping that it gets better. That maybe I'm being a little too harsh on the first
Yeah, I
episode.
think you'd
because
be
sometimes the
surprised.
first episode, it's setting up things.
Yes.
Right.
Well, it's like mini 3-story arcs
Yeah,
because I
they-
think they
they
were
go
going to
from
do
year
five
to year.
years.
Yeah, it's really
They were
interesting.
originally going to do 5 years, but they realized he was going to age, and they decided just
Right.
to do like snippets in time. So it's
Maybe they
before
can-
the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it
It's really
progressively-
interesting the way they do
down
it.
the years, maybe that would help me a little bit.
You'll see it. I think you'll like it.
So, Mark, I understand that you brought something for us to sign.
It's your famous monsters or filmmakers, right? What's
Film
it?
Masters.
Film Masters.
Oh, the Devil's
and,
Partner?
You guys did the commentary.
Yes,
on
yes,
it.
we
Or
did.
right hand of the devil. I don't know.
Right-handed
What
devil.
does he have?
Something with devil.
Something
I'm
with
guessing.
devil in it. And
We were kind of on a devil roll there.
I know.
And
I know.
this is what's great about Monsterpalooza. Next year, folks, if you're listening, you want to get that Blu-ray or DVD and bring it to our booth to sign it. We're not going to charge you for it. We're happy to sign
That's
it. Well,
right.
Wait,
We're not supposed to be charging?
No. Look. The devil's partner.
Nice.
Partner. And can I do a shout out to Jim Jenkins? Is he here today or no? Or he's in
I
San
don't
Diego?
know.
He's more of a Comic-Con.
Oh,
Right.
But if you give a shout out to Jim Jenkins.
We wish you were here, Jim.
Yeah,
you're-
always.
Absolutely. Yes, always
you're
miss
the
Jim.
man. So, and there was another question too, just for all of you. AI, you can use AI to enhance video, and there's like a lot of stuff just on VHS now that I'm sure you guys love. And there's probably not going to be a high definition copy coming out soon.
So you can upgrade it, kind of.
Yeah, would you be for that if somebody was like just running it through AI and
I don't know,
upgrading
but,
it?
because I've seen that done in the past, and it's a little wonky, and sometimes AI creates weird things that you don't expect.
It adds artifacts
it's
or
different.
extra
Yeah,
fingers?
it's different than just
I will
like,
say,
Case sensitive.
I
Yeah.
will say I saw some amazing footage of it was like 1895 footage, and they went through AI and they smoothed everything out and it was and colorized it and it looked gorgeous.
It depends,
so
I guess.
I think it's a case by case, Sean. For
Yeah.
me personally, I am not opposed to it because I know there's some films out there that you and I've talked about that. Oh, no one's going to spend the money on this.
Yeah,
it's too,
yeah.
you know.
Although I just think it has to. The technology is getting better and better all the time.
yeah.
So I just think that the technology has to catch up. Like I recently downloaded because I'm a big fan of the '60s Marvel superhero cartoons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they have never been released. And I had some downloads that were okay, not bad, but somebody did an enhancement. And it looked pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was certainly better than the grainy thing I
Right.
was watching before.
For animated cartoons, I could see that. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping because Deep Space Nine only has the standard DVD.
So they've never been out on
For
Blu-ray
somebody,
yet?
I don't know. I'm guessing Larry hasn't watched Deep Space Nine yet.
No, I don't even know what it is. No, see, that's not fair. That is not fair. It's like, I don't know what Star Trek is. What is this Deep Space? No, I did watch it. I watched like the first season, and it just didn't it hit me. And then you're all, hey, Larry, stick with it. And I'm that guy.
Have you gone back though? Have you tried it?
Look, I've got a lot of
You got
things
a lot
on
of-
my list.
You have to watch The Creature a couple more
I
times.
have to watch the. Look, it's the creature.
You got to watch those 3 films another 7,000 times. Yeah.
But this is great. But where's this Blu-ray? And we will sign this.
The Devil's Partner, and would love if you guys could sign it.
Sure, absolutely.
So, Mark, we are going to sign this Blu-ray for you, and you're going to love what I have to write on this.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of really witty sayings and slogans and heartfelt comments that I think you're going to cherish throughout the years.
And thank you so much for being so supportive
Yes,
of us
you're-
throughout the
always,
years,
always,
bringing
yes.
the Blu-rays and the DVDs to us to sign. It means the world to me, and I'm so glad that you watched this.
We need to have a party and invite you to it.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds great. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for coming out of Monsterpalooza, and enjoy the con.
Always.
You too. Thanks,
Nice.
man.
You know what I like, Matt, is look who's here. Look just stop by. It's Ted Haynes.
Walking by, and it's the Monster Party podcast booth.
Wow.
Oh my God.
The foam Faber is here.
Faber extraordinaire.
Extraordinary.
Ted Haynes.
Benefactor. Oh my God.
Yep.
The things you have done to help us over the years.
Angry Fish Man.
Angry Fish Man. You know, it's
Yes.
just-
And
Angry
try-
Fish Guy. Angry Fish
God.
And
Guy.
if you're a
Guy.
Patreon member,
And a
you
Patreon.
may have some of his work
That's right.
indeed.
That's right.
Yeah.
in your greedy little hands.
And see, I'm a patron myself, and I have all that stuff at my house. Wait, is that how I got that? I don't understand
It's
it.
confusing. You don't
I
even
give it
know
to you
anymore.
guys. You guys send it back to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Say,
Somehow.
It's an
Just take
endless
it back.
cycle.
Yeah.
So, Ted, in your booth, now I saw the Angry Fish Guy, but is there anything new in there? Yes, he's angry. He is angry.
He's upset about something. There's a net caught on him, and he's
Right.
a
See,
little bummed out.
can you not figure out when a monster is angry?
Contemplative.
He might be miffed, Angry Fish Guy.
Yeah, like-
but
Right.
Angry Fish Guy just rolls off the tongue better. So-
Slightly perturbed. for
Yeah,
sure.
slightly perturbed.
You don't want to say
Monday.
But do you have anything new?
The two new things. Number one, last year was the big Frankenstein I did.
Right.
Ode to Jack Davis.
Yep.
And my wife asked me, she said, could you please do a large piece every other year? Or we're going to run out of space in the shop.
Right.
And I said, yes, I'll do a big piece. So this year I've got a Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
And he's
Very
probably
nice.
about a quarter scale
Yeah.
with a little ghost trap underneath him, all lights up. And then I built a zombie.
Cool.
Not too huge.
It's a
Yeah.
bust.
Yeah.
It fits on a table. Everything's for sale. So, I mean, somebody could easily just tuck it in the corner of their house.
Right.
apartment,
Yeah. Put it on
So, yeah.
the table for Thanksgiving.
Yes. And next year, I have a ridiculous build.
Ooh,
Plans, so-
all right.
Can't talk about it,
All
right?
I don't want to pimp it yet. but
Yeah, okay.
it's-
Okay.
No, I get
We'll
it.
wait.
But people listening, you heard it here first. Ted Haynes is working on something.
Exciting
I've got it
things are
designed,
coming.
and I'll say it's based on an animated figure. So
Okay. Interesting.
just be my take on a character that I've always loved. So
Okay.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Wow, my mind reels.
Yeah.
I know.
yeah, interesting.
I know.
All right.
You heard it here first.
So, have you been getting a lot of action at your booth?
Yeah,
A
the
lot
booth
of,
is great. We had a great night last night on Friday. It was really nice.
a lot of people coming by. I'm always surprised when people know who I am. Somebody will come from Belgium.
Well, they're listening
obviously
to
because of Monster Party. Yeah.
And you're 8 million.
People saying, "Who is this Ted Haynes?" Well, if I listen to Monster Party, I learned all about him.
Well, the funny thing is that I've done a lot of tutorials for the Stan Winston School.
Right.
And I was talking to 2 girls yesterday who we found out after I mentioned doing tutorials. They went, "You're Ted Haynes," and I said, "Yeah." And they said, "I've watched all of your stuff." And I said, "Well, the stuff that I did back then at the Stan Winston School, I was much fatter. I looked really different." I said, "So that's why you don't recognize me now."
You do look great.
Yes, you do.
You look fantastic.
That's because I've got a wife that feeds me the right things.
Now, is your lovely wife here?
She is not. She's actually down in San Diego at a bat mitzvah.
Oh, okay.
My niece's bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
So my sister flew in from Wisconsin and is helping me out.
Nice. Very nice.
No, wait a minute. So is your sister into all this monster stuff?
No, my sister is a newly retired high school librarian, worked in the school district for 30 years.
Wow.
And she's kind of blown away, like, these people know who you are? It's
like, what is this place?
Yeah, so she's kind of, I met your sister yesterday.
Yes, Angela. Now, I wanted to find out, remember a number of years ago you made a life-size Aurora monster model kit Frankenstein. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because it took, yes. Whatever happened to that? Come on. Whatever happened to that? Did you sell it to some big wig guy?
It was here 2 years in a row in the museum in
Right.
Monsterpalooza. And then it ended up at the Valley Relics Museum in Los Angeles, here in the middle of San Fernando Valley. And then I got a call from a friend of mine down in Florida who got a call from a guy in New York and said he wants to buy the piece.
Oh, really?
So
I was this close to getting them.
this close. And I was happy to sell it to him. So,
Nice.
Can we ask?
No, we're not going to ask that.
$3.25.
Wow.
No,
It's a bargain.
no.
That's what you listed it as.
Luckily, it was a passion project, and at least what I got for it paid for the materials.
Good.
Nice.
Paid for the labor that was put into it.
Right,
But the thing that I thought was so amazing, it is an exact replica of that monster model, and it was absolutely stunning. And you are an amazing talent.
That was fun. Thank you very much.
It's one of those things that if you took a picture of it, you would think that it is a small model.
And that was the hard thing with that, is that you had to put somebody in frame with it.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I took pictures of it, and it's like, wait a minute, is that our 20-inch model, or is that the 5-foot model?
Or has that person been shrunk down?
Yeah, it was so funny. Well, we built the testers bottles and testers glue.
Yeah,
and
which I loved.
So it was all in scale. So it was like a foot, whatever, 16-inch tall testers, paint bottles.
And the figure and the whole model set part of it is beautiful, gorgeous.
Thank you.
But adding those details is what really blows your mind.
That's what set it off, because I know myself, Tom Woodruff, and Jasper Anderson, we built that along with my wife Ilona and then Alana Suin. So it was just the 5 of us that actually built the character. And when we were first talking about it, and I said, it's not that interesting as just the Aurora kit. I said, we've got to have 6-foot tall paintbrushes. We've got to have oversized props, and that's what's going to kick it off. That's what people are going to like about it.
Yeah.
Now, I know that took a lot of time and energy and effort, and you did a great job. But, Aurora did make a creature model that I think you...
Never building another full-size Aurora kit, ever. Never.
I don't blame you.
It was a lot
all.
of work. We molded everything in silicone. Everything was cast in fiberglass. It was a fun project. It was way too much, and one and done. We're good.
See,
once in a lifetime.
What I'm waiting for is I wanted you to build the oversized child that's making the kit.
We talked about it. We talked about having an oversized hand with a paintbrush.
Oh, yeah.
Touching it up. But no, did not happen. Did not happen.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. I think what you did.
Yeah, we had to stop somewhere. It's kind of and then we build the whole top of the desk.
Yeah, let's build.
And we do more action figures. And we should have a Rubik's cube up there. We should have
No. But I think what's amazing though is you are a Monsterpalooza legend. Because, people talk about that. That was an amazing display. It was here for 2 years. And it's hard to compare that to some of the other stuff because it's
no, that's the winner.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That is the out-and-out winner.
I am a Frankenstein fan. I think that is truly one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, sure.
And So, I love to beat a dead horse. So last year I built the big Jack Davis Frankenstein,
which is again
Amazing.
another winner.
and so then I scanned it, touched it up in ZBrush. So now I'm selling a model kit of that Jack Davis, or the tribute sculpture I did.
Which is cool because you think back in the day that would have been a cool model kit.
Yes,
The Jack, because that Jack Davis poster was it's such a unique take on Frankenstein.
And I had 2 of those posters when I was a kid. They went to hell, ripped off my door, and
Right.
They were printed on really terrible stuff. But that, that's nostalgia. So 11-year-old me just wanted a big Frankenstein.
Sure.
So.
Right.
Now, if you really wanted to be my friend, make the Vampirella poster.
Oh, wait a minute. Now there's a thought.
And
I won't do another Aurora, but Vampirella is kind of interesting.
I'm just saying, it could talk about a passion project.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
There's some passion there.
Well, Ted, I want to thank you so much for stopping by the booth. I know you got
I got nifty gifties for you guys.
Uh-oh. Oh, my gosh.
Because, I like to make people happy.
And you always make us happy.
I did a little thing this year. Hold on a second. I scanned my Jack Davis, and I ended up making action figures.
Holy crap. Holy.
This one is for James. I've got his name on the back. They're all numbered. I only did 30
my
of
gosh.
them.
Oh, my
so
gosh.
James ends up with number 1.
Oh, my gosh.
James got number 1. Wow.
I knew.
Shut up.
Sean, you were number 2.
Thank you so much.
Sean gets 2.
Oh, my gosh. This is so awesome.
Number 4 went to Larry.
Oh, I got
last
4.
but not least,
Oh, wow.
To Mr. Matt.
This is
now,
amazing.
because I know not everybody wants to rip open their package, we laser cut these.
Oh, my
There's
gosh,
a little
yes.
tab in the back. You can open up the door and pull the figure out.
Oh, my gosh. This is, it's funny, too, because this particular style of figure, unpainted in this color, is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, like a Marx.
Yes.
It's for the people who are listening, because I know this is not a visual medium.
Yes.
It's a large card, about 12 inches tall, and the figures that I just gave the guys, it's a kind of a really bright neon green resin,
Yeah, it's
and then
beautiful.
the other ones I've got are neon orange.
And you have the
And I'm only
advertisement on the back. I mean, that's so cool.
I've got all that. I did happen to put on the bottom, do not mail this in. It's not an actual offer, so don't cut
You're
that
right.
out. Don't
Oh
mail
my
that
gosh,
in.
this is
And you
fantastic.
signed it, and you numbered it, and you put my name on it.
Is this the first time you did kind of an action figure set like this?
Thank you so much, Ted. This is
My
so
pleasure.
cool.
Ted, is this the first time you've done kind of an action
The
figure?
first time I tried doing something
The
like that.
packaging is beautiful. I love
there's-
this.
There's a couple of things that I learned about doing the vacuform for doing the bubble, the blister
and
pack.
it's good, solid, hefty. It's cool, man.
Yours are special, guys.
Oh my god.
These are solid resin.
This is amazing. Thank you
The
so
other
much.
ones I had to
Ted.
hollow out, in the
Yeah,
3D
yeah.
printing process. So
Fantastic.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate
well,
this is,
and they do stand up.
Oh,
yeah.
I designed it
I'm
in a way
keeping
that
mine in
they'll
the
stand
box,
up on your
though.
shelf.
Yeah, no, this is beyond. This
So
blows
cool.
my mind.
Yeah.
It is. It's
So
pure
cool.
joy. It's
Thank
joy
you.
in a package.
It's beautiful.
Glad you guys like them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
There
you.
you go. We'll see
So-
what happens next year.
Well, now I have to start shopping for you.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, no, I got a great Indiana Jones figure earlier from Matt, so
yeah,
it's great.
we want to take care of you. We
look out for each other.
We do appreciate you.
You
so
guys
much.
take care of me every month by putting on a great show and
you
entertaining, or twice a month, right? Twice a month.
Twice a month, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But we only entertain you once a month.
That's true.
That's our ratio.
I listen twice a month. I'm entertained once a month. So, but that's pretty good, 2 to 1.
Not bad.
True.
Not a bad ratio.
Party podcast, 2
Yeah.
to 1.
50-50.
So, there you go.
Could be worse.
Thanks so much, man.
All right, Ted. Well,
Thank you,
thank you so
Ted.
much, and
My pleasure.
Please come back again with
Yep.
more items.
I will.
Thank you, Ted.
You're welcome.
Oh, boy, I tell you, that's been show. Oh, hey! Oh, hey!
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
You can-
David Weiner.
You can hear me now because I'm not wearing my frightening mask anymore.
You're like, fuck it. We're all going right down the shitter.
Listen, if we were going down to the shitter, I want to be able to see me smile all the way down.
Right.
Now, for listeners, if you don't know, if you're new to the show or just tuning in, David
Just
Weiner,
tuning in.
former Famous Monsters of Filmland editor and producer-director of some amazing documentaries.
That's right.
Yeah,
The
that's
greatest documentaries of all time.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks. That fits the bill. I like that.
Say what they are.
Oh, what they are? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Wait, is this thing on?
It is.
I'm
And
so
you know what?
sorry.
For once, it's on.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking?
No, but I'm on a start. So
Let's start now.
Yeah, the In Search of Darkness documentaries. You guys have been amazing, and In Search of Tomorrow.
Yes,
Long form
yeah.
documentaries about 80s horror and sci-fi, and now I'm in the 90s doing 2 of them for 90s horror. I did 90 to
wait.
94, and now I'm doing in production on 95 to 99. But you guys have always been amazingly supportive. In fact, you guys for 1990, I said, I know you guys want to do the whole decade, but will you just keep it to the first half? And you're like, no, because there wasn't much going on. And I said, no,
Yeah.
look twice.
And once we started researching before we had you on for the show, we realized that like the 90s is rich with horror stuff. Some good, some bad, some amazing, some interesting. I mean, but there's a lot of stuff.
And you could say that about a lot of decades too. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, not all. The '80s was great, but you know, there's some chaff in there.
Oh yeah, well the thing is, I think there's chaff everywhere you go, but there's certain movies that are so huge, they
Right.
steal the spotlight.
Yes, yes.
And when we're talking about the 90s, I would say for the casual movie enjoyer, and they think of the 90s and they think of horror, they're like, yeah, it's kind of a memory hole. Meh. Scream, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scream.
maybe
Silence of the
Blair.
Lambs.
Well, they
Academy Award winner.
they might say, well, I'm sorry, Matt, that's a thriller.
Whoa, come on.
You know,
But-
those people are dead to me.
But part of my job and my challenge was to introduce people to a new way of thinking about a lot of these movies, and to remember some of these that came out that really fit in this sort of overall jigsaw puzzle of a decade. There's so much going on. There was so much greatness, but also there was so much straight to video and shot
right.
on video
Yes. Yeah.
that
Yes.
are also just overflowing with creativity. So if you look at things in a certain way that's not thumbing your nose at quality,
Right.
but you're looking at creativity and you're looking at the miracle of people actually finishing and finding distribution for films. If you look at things a different way, there's a huge amount to offer. We're not asking you to necessarily like these movies, but to respect them, understand them, and understand what it requires to take an idea, take your friends, go to the backyard, get a camera, and come out with a film that we're still talking about today. That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right,
And
yeah.
I mean, you had the found footage field
Explosion.
kind of exploded. J horror, established, 70s and 80s veteran horror directors doing different stuff. I mean, it was really interesting time.
You also had your right up against the 80s, the first part of the 90s. You still got a little bit of that 80s sheen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Residue.
So it's like it's kind of like a little detox for you.
There were a lot of filmmakers that didn't know the party ended.
Yeah, right.
When the decade turned, and but if you really think about it, when Hollywood is concerned, it's really leaving money on the table. And if you have all these franchise icons, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, just because a decade draws a line between the end of 80s and beginning of 90s doesn't mean they're going to stop. No way. Are
Right.
you crazy? So there was a great overflow of whether it's Pinhead, whether it's Chucky, whether it's the Tall Man, Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead grew
Yeah.
wings. He didn't fly,
That's
but
right.
they were bloody, but he tried.
Blood wings.
Blood wings, indeed. So my
The
point,
worst kind of wings ever.
and sometimes reinvention as well. So Freddy dies. No spoiler there because it's in the title. Freddy's dead. It's on the poster. This
That's
is
what
the
I
day he
said.
dies.
Right.
So if you're like, why'd that guy spoil it for me? Well, anyway. But anyway, he was reinvented in Freddy's New Nightmare.
Well,
Right.
and then you also have Full Moon
Full Moon Entertainment.
Yeah.
churning that stuff out.
The 90s was their decade
Yes.
for, this
Really?
is Charlie Band, who I actually saw around here a little while ago here
Oh, cool.
in Monsterpalooza, but and who I worked for in the early 90s. I worked for Full Moon Entertainment, but he was doing stuff with Empire, with like Reanimator and a lot of Stuart Gordon stuff. But in the 90s, he just flew and he did amazing stuff, and he bought a castle in Italy.
Of course he did.
Which he would say, I can't believe I did it. I couldn't afford it. I was nuts, but I did it because I could. I couldn't keep it very long, but he used it to its absolute maximum by doing movies like Meridian, The Pit and the Pendulum, Castle
Castle
Freak.
Freak.
He's like, listen, before I go, one more. I need to do Castle Freak in my castle.
I love
It was like it was equivalent of like Full Moon's Universal backlot.
Oh yeah,
You know?
exactly. And so many of these talk about like low budget but creative, resourceful filmmaking. A lot of these started with an idea, a poster. He'd sell it at American
old
Film
school.
Market,
That's right.
and then he's like, "Well, now I got to come up with a story." And now we're still talking about it today. Really colorful art, really creative, extremely low budget movies, but super fun with an absolute cult following.
But if I could for just a moment, for listeners, if you're not familiar with this, when you hear documentary, it's a documentary on a decade. David doesn't just, it's not like there's this narrator talking about it. You do interviews with people who worked on the movie, wrote the movie, directed the movie. You show clips, scenes. You'd have people tell anecdotes of like what happened. I mean, you give a full picture of these films in a very quick amount of time because you move from film to film to film. And when we saw the first documentary that he did, it was like 4 hours. We were like, the whole time we were like mesmerized, weren't we?
It flew by.
It was the fastest 4 hours that I ever experienced. Seriously. Like, it flew by. And by the end, we were all kind of like, is that it?
You know, it meant so much to me that you guys were there for the premiere. You guys were there.
Loved it. Loved
We premiered it at the Egyptian Theater in October of 2019. I showed it in two parts because it was a 4+ hour movie. It is kind of long. But, I mean, that was the first... You guys were with the first audience that I got to see this movie. And I will never forget, I sat down with executive producer Robin Block, who gave permission for me to do this. And the community gave us permission by crowdfunding it to do it. But it was the first time we're sitting there. He's sitting next to me. He will admit this too, so I'm not like talking out of school. One of the greatest moments was he had such confidence in what I was doing and really gave me so much free rein. I mean, he was very creatively involved, but once we were off to the races, I really got to do a lot of my own autonomous. I got to make my own movie.
Right.
And I remember we sat down, the lights dimmed. We got a bunch of horror heroes, you know, like Barbara Crampton and Kelly Maroney and Mick Garris and Brian Yuzna and Caroline Williams were all there talking about it. But lights come down, and he leans over to me just as it's starting and says, "David, I haven't seen this film in its entirety yet. I hope it's good." And the lights went down, and people were laughing and responding, and the camera would move from poster to poster, and it would get to the one that they were on. They would cheer.
Right, yeah.
It would just pass the one that they wanted to. You know.
Yeah.
And one of the most rewarding experiences, and I'm so glad you guys were there for it.
It was like candy. It was nonstop ice cream sundae for us. But I mean, you've heard our responses to what you've been doing now over these last several years. All these amazing documentaries. What has the response been like in the fan community at large?
Well, you know, I just actually come to your table at Monsterpalooza to get more praise because I'm a bottomless pit of despair, and you guys give me the only validation I need.
I understand that well.
Yeah. Well, I'm on my 6th documentary for Creator VC in production right now. 5 of them are In Search of Darkness movies, and one was In Search of Tomorrow. I'm getting to executive produce some movies as well. We did one for Aliens, called Aliens Expanded. I'm currently doing one where I'm the executive producer called The Thing Expanded.
Didn't you win a Rondo? They won a Rondo?
You got a couple Rondos.
Yeah, well, I've got
recent one.
You know, it's an honor to be nominated in the company of fellow Rondo nominees.
Runner-ups this year, too, by the way.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
Well, likewise, it's certainly an honor for us to be nominated.
We got a
in
bumper
such
sticker, but...
I think that'll push you over the edge. That'll push you over the edge. But the horror community gives us the validation to continue doing this.
Yeah.
You know, they say, yes, we would like this. We actually survey our audience saying, what would you like to see? We plan to do this. Would you like to see it? What would you like to see? Would you pay for this? Would you support it?
There was a questionnaire, I remember.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
We do that for every movie now. And it's incredibly helpful because you get to tap the hive mind of horror fans who want to see what they want to see. And if they get to feel like they're part of the process by whether it's giving suggestions or interacting with us during the production of the film. That's become a whole big part of this. So to answer your question, James, it's like I think we get validation each and every time when people say, please do more, please make them longer, please connect it directly to my veins.
Right.
They feel like they're part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, David, I know you've been doing the 90s part 1, the 90s part 2. You're going kind of forward. Have you ever thought about doing the 70s decade? I know by doing that you may get less of the actual people who made the movies because it's an earlier. Some of those people are not with us, but the 70s too. I mean, that's one of my favorite decades as well for horror cinema. I mean, have you guys ever toyed with the idea of looking at that decade?
I was thinking of doing a documentary of doing horror in 2026, but I haven't gotten there yet. Sean, you tell me, what should I do next?
I mean, I think
no.
looking to the past is, I mean,
classic porn.
No.
I think you have to do both. I think you should totally embrace the 70s and then do early 2000s. You could 2000s you could easily do like kind of the 90s. You do like part 1 and part 2.
Do you guys? Well, I ask you this very legitimately because guess what? We are. I cannot say what we're doing because I genuinely do not know. We have not decided 100%. But we are most definitely leaning towards the 70s next.
Yeah. Wow.
But I have a question, though. Do you guys, and this you could say, no, I don't care, much like a lot of people said about the 90s. They're like, yeah, and I liked some movies in the 90s. 2000s. I mean, do you feel like that's a rich enough decade to do an In Search of Darkness about? To devote a year of my life?
My view of this is that, and especially from the 2000s on, has been a really good time for horror. Science fiction too, but mostly horror. Some of my favorite films came during that period, and I just feel like there's so much creativity out there and so many people taking chances. I've said this before. I believe really some of the most important work in cinema is being done in the horror genre.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll put The Babadook or The Witch up against anything. I mean, and there's so many more.
There was the Hollywood remake frenzy of J-horror.
Yes.
Which was a huge thing in the early 2000s. Yeah. There was Hostel and Saw going down the torture porn territory.
Hostel, though, I'm not a big, what's-his-face?
Eli Roth?
Eli Roth fan. But I do actually like that movie because it's a build-up. It's not pure torture porn. It's a build-up
that's true.
till that moment. And that's what films like that, I think, need. It can't just be a splatter fest, unless that's what you're going for. And I'm sure there is an audience for that, but that's not me.
I think I would say maybe only that. Is it too early, though, to hit the 2000s? That's why maybe do the 70s first, then by then there'll be a little more nostalgia, the people who grew up.
The more distance you put between us and these decades, the more people want to relive them a little bit.
And
and that's what we're finding with the 90s. The 90s, they're folks like us who were kind of like 70s kids, 80s teens, essentially. And that's what I am projecting, essentially. But there's 60s. 60s carryover is hugely important.
Yes.
When we were, at least me growing up in the 70s,
right.
Everything was Hammer Horror, Roger Corman, 60s leftovers on TV.
Exactly.
For me. And I'm just going over decades. But even the 50s, you just turn on the TV at any given moment. There's a Ray Harryhausen movie on.
Sure.
Sure. Or Preacher from the Black Lagoon or anything.
I'm not
Invasion of the Saucer.
Did you know the Revenge of the Creature is having its 70th anniversary? Did you know that? Yeah.
That's the one with Uncle Gilbert, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I know.
I was going to let that go, David. I was going to let that go, but you decided to bring it back.
Oh, I get it now. The Gill Man.
Yes, Uncle Gil. Hey, you know what? It took a long time for that joke to land, but it finally did.
It's been hovering for years.
But I do have to say, the more distance you get from these things, the more people really, really clamor for it. Because, all right, this is not horror, but I was reading, so Lilo and Stitch, the live-action film, is just like destroying in the best way possible the box office.
And so
people are now... Well, why? Because it should be just a kids' film, but
but not Snow White. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting that Snow White, the old
Well,
vintage Snow White, but a lot of them Stitch, right?
A lot of it is the Zillennials, kids who were born in the mid '90s. So just after '90 came around, before the decade ended, the generation that grew up there, they're now rounding 30. And okay, hold on, Matt. Hold your horses.
Crazy.
Okay, so they are now in the real world. They're working their jobs. They're realizing they don't get a trophy just for showing up.
Right.
And they're realizing the economy is tough. I'm speaking collectively about it's hard for everybody.
Sure.
And not just these guys.
It's a messy
But
world
I
right
think there's an element where they singled out that these folks really are absolutely nostalgic for a piece of their childhood because they grew up watching the animated Lilo and Stitch, and
Right.
there was subsequent, straight-to-video movies and things like that. So a large part of the audience is not just kids or them taking their kids, but they're just going without kids. I think it's like 60%. So my point is there's a certain depth to nostalgia that I think people like to discount because it's easy, low-hanging fruit when it comes to, say, the In Search of Darkness movies.
But you're absolutely right, though, that there is that element of nostalgia, and we tend to forget, because we're ancient, the fact that, when somebody says, yeah, I like older movies, and then they'll mention, like Scream,
Yeah, those old vintage films.
Oh, the first one. I never got around to that, but I
And puts things in perspective, and then so like walking around here, I'll see T-shirts of something like, really, that's the movie that you're into, and you forget that there's a special soft spot in your heart for that thing that you saw when you were 8, even if it's kind of crappy.
Right. Yeah.
I learned from when I was at Famous Monsters. One of my coworkers was younger, and when Star Wars was coming back, Star Wars The Force Awakens was coming out, and she started telling tales about how when she was a kid, she watched The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Because that was her first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And she loved Jar Jar Binks.
Right, yeah,
And she has spent the rest of her life having to defend or hide the fact that she likes Jar Jar Binks.
Right.
And who wouldn't if you were a kid, a goofy character that's in Star Wars?
Right,
Okay?
right.
So there's
That might be the first time I've ever heard anyone say that they like Jar Jar Binks.
Well, now they just had the Star Wars celebration in Japan, and oh gosh, the character actor who played Jar Jar Binks. It'll come to me.
Oh God, no,
Ahmed
I don't
Best.
know.
Ahmed Best. Thank you
Ahmed
very
Best.
much, James. And he was at the lowest of the low, and he admitted that.
Right.
He thought he was going to be. I'm in a Star Wars movie. Life's going to be great. Not we're going to talk about Jar Jar forever now. But the thing is, there's a whole. Everything came around. Yeah. He came around. He did not step off that ledge, which he was considering doing.
Right.
I mean, seriously. But now he is welcomed with open arms by a whole generation that has grown up, who now they're the Zillennials.
Yeah,
and they love that.
And
So
I also, is Jake Lloyd okay now? Or?
Jake Lloyd, I think, he still hasn't come out of the woodwork yet. Unfortunately, Jake Lloyd, and I can't speak for him, but from what I've read, he had some mental health issues. But I'm sure a lot of it was fed by the insane treatment that he got at school by kids who are super duper.
And the entitlement of fandom too.
I mean, we could go on and on.
We are going to go on.
Well, I don't want to monopolize on his David's time because I know he's a busy guy. He wants to get around and check the show. But Sean does have one question.
One question, David.
Okay. I have several.
Okay.
You are a veteran, a documentary filmmaker, working in
the trenches. Sorry, I was going to make a joke.
No, but you are
war trenches
in the fields and celebrating the genres that we love. I was just wondering if down the line at any point you will be interested in directing a you've been doing non-scripted documentaries. Have you ever considered doing like a scripted horror film?
I appreciate you asking. I went to film school. I wanted to be a director.
Right. What? Yeah.
Wow, yeah. What did I learn? Nothing. No. I learned that the world's against you, and no one's going to hand you a movie to direct.
Like
flatbed skills.
Oh, well, gosh.
A B roll.
I I edited my 16 millimeter color sync sound film on a Steenbeck, and they used to have the guillotine slicer, but they also had the Revis splicer. Now guillotine, you put it through, and it lines up with the spokes, and you push it down like a stapler. You go ka-chonk, and then you tape it. And then you cut your film together, and it's literally taped together. Now with the Revis splicer, you have this thing that's literally like a butcher's chopping block with articulated chopping block mechanism with a blade on it.
So like a little more
So
advanced.
here's the deal: if you got that Revis splicer and you are editing your film, inevitably you have a couple tracks. So you got your film track, you got your soundtrack. You reach over to make an edit to the soundtrack. You slice your forearms on this blade.
Oh my
and
gosh.
you knew someone was working on the Steenbeck with a Revis slicer if they looked like they got attacked by a cat.
Oh my
Well, refresh my memory. Back in the day, I went to film school at City College of San Francisco, and we learned the A-B roll.
Yes.
And the A-B roll is a way to cut a film so you don't see the splice lines.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's done is that instead of taping, you can't tape it, you have to glue it. And so that required you taking a splicer, and there was a little tool on the splicer that would scratch off the emulsion so the glue would stick. And that was the most thankless, frustrating fucking experience because, there'd be times where it wouldn't stick or it all came together and then later it decided not to stick and you'd lose a frame someplace. Terrible.
I have to tell you and I'm going to answer your question, Sean.
Sure.
I have to tell you the most harrowing experience I ever had in film school was I made my senior film. I edited it. It was done completely. And then we had to do the sound mix. So what happens with the sound mix? You put it into this machine where you're constantly forwarding it and rewinding it. And when you stop it to change the direction, it goes zzz, ka-chunk. And the whole film just yanks from side to side, reel to reel. Yeah, see that face that Sean is making is the face, the grimace I had on my face saying, this is going to physically, literally rip my only film that I have apart. And I'm traumatized from this experience. So I want to answer your question.
It's like rewinding a videotape back in the day, long all the way. It suddenly hits really hard, and you're worried like it's going to break the tape.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
This is this delicate stuff.
Yeah, the physical.
Digital did not exist.
No.
And so anyway, finishing up they're going to give me. I'm going to get the hook in a moment. But to answer your question, I would love to make a feature film. That's kind of not why, but one of the reasons why I came out to Los Angeles was I wanted to make my own movies.
Right.
I never actually expected to be doing all these documentaries.
Right.
I would love to have the opportunity to make a feature film. So if you're listening and you want to talk about it, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, as a family man with a family, I have to tell you, being able to make my own documentaries essentially from home. I do it all from home.
That's amazing.
And other than going, when I go to, conduct interviews, I have to do some traveling sometimes.
Sure.
I go to the studio. But we are a team that's all around the world. My editor's in the UK. My executive producer's in the UK. Wow. My graphics guy is in Berlin.
That's amazing.
We have other folks who are in California, but also like Las Vegas. And so we're really all over the map, and we're an amazing team working all together to do this thing that's
cool.
essentially in the cloud.
Yeah.
And I love working that way. And so when you work on a feature film,
it can be grueling.
Your world
it's
is entirely you're gone for a very long periods
a year,
of time.
It's all your life. Yeah.
So you'll have to pick a time in your life for that. It's like,
that's
maybe
the thing.
it'd be best if I did get away for 8 months.
Right.
Apparently it's now because I'm getting the hook by Larry.
Well, we could go on and on and on, couldn't we? David Weiner, we've got to have you back on the show.
I think we have him now, but okay.
Well,
I think I'm already taking my. Once I do it, The reset takes months.
No, but I know you're working on a bunch of really cool things, and I love it that you give our listeners just little updates. But we'd love to have you come back to the show, like a regular show.
episode.
And I'm looking forward to the '90s part 2.
Let's do, if you have time, let's do it in October when I'm promoting my next movie.
Yeah,
In Search of
yeah,
Justice,
we should.
1999.
If we're in the country.
Well, I'll travel to you. I'll travel to you.
Will
wherever
you
are.
now?
Yeah.
That would be a good time.
Yes.
Let's
we're
go
gonna,
to
we're going to be
Japan.
in Phnom Penh. Or
We are going to go to Phnom Penh.
But
I'm starting
anyway,
a new life there.
I'm doing my plug, 90shorrordoc.com, 90s, 90shorrordoc.com. I know this airs a couple days from now, but ultimately we have a campaign for pre-order for the documentary that goes to midnight, June 9th, 90shorrordoc.com. And you get your name in the credits. You can get all cool swag and stuff like that. If you missed the first In Search of Darkness 90 to 94, you can get that. You can also get the 80s trilogy. Lots of cool stuff. I always appreciate you guys giving me a platform.
Our pleasure.
Oftentimes, after I do a podcast, usually for a couple days, people stop me on the street for autographs.
But
then it just plummets like a week later.
We know it well.
Well, David Weiner, thank you so much
Thanks,
for being
man.
with
Thank
us.
you, David.
Thanks for stopping by.
Great to see you.
Hey, David.
Oh my God! Wow!
Man.
That's the sound of exhaustion.
Day 2 has
But
been
satisfaction too.
I'm pretty beat. Day 2.
Amazing.
Oh, but you look terrific.
We met a lot of amazing
Oh my
people. I'm starting to get my voice is getting a little squeaky.
I like it though.
Yeah.
I like it. Sexy.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
It's not a real Monsterpalooza until Larry loses his voice.
Yes,
True.
right.
That's true.
Yes, and this it goes to prove who's been chatting the most. Oh my God, guys!
Starting to sound like Ed Wynn.
Dude, I gotta get home.
One
man.
could say it goes to prove someone doesn't know how to use their voice properly.
Ooh.
I happen to be a professional, and that's
right.
why.
Yes, yes. No,
that's why it sounds so smooth.
No,
and
it's true. You are the Velvet Turtle.
the Velvet Turtle.
That's his.
The Velvet Turtle.
That's his Pornhub name.
No,
he's correct. Yeah, I did a number of one-reelers back in the '80s under the Velvet Turtle title.
But today
Find them.
has been fun. We've talked to a lot of
Yeah, it's been
new
great.
people. It's been great.
Just as crowded as it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Been shooting some Patreon content at different booths.
That's
It's
right.
been
Always
a lot
good.
of fun.
Stay tuned.
Always good, yes. And I had some lovely meals at the snack bar, which I cannot recommend enough.
I gorged myself on fresh sandwiches again.
Don't get me started once again on Sean's sandwiches.
See, folks, this is what happens when you start to get a little delirious. You start to talk about sandwiches.
Well, because we're aside from being at Monsterpalooza, we're people.
Yes.
And
Right,
much
we're
like
human.
you, we need to eat.
Yes.
And
it's true.
and I think there's something quite monstrous about Sean's sandwiches. There is a mystery element to them. If a sandwich could be a thriller, it would be Sean's sandwiches.
I'm starting a spin-off podcast.
You should.
Just called Sandwiches! !
Because like the first day, it was like one tiny slice of spam or something. Well,
Yeah,
I forget what it
spam.
was.
Yeah.
And then
Spam,
today
spam.
it was. There was not even any meat in there, right?
No.
Yeah. And so tomorrow is what going to be like 2 Ritz crackers
Bread and
some
mustard.
mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I can't wait till tomorrow.
I can't either. But
I know I need to get some rest. Because if you guys want me sharp,
I don't want you sharp.
You don't want me sharp. Then what's wrong with you?
I don't want you sharp, Peter Brady. I want you cracking. I want you to have a time to change.
Okay, well, I need to get going. So what do you say we wrap it up?
Okay, well, on that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
No. Keep America strong.
Yeah, and, forgive us, but we have to put our son to bed. don't have stickers.
Stickers.
Don't have any stickers, no. We do have prizes.
Oh, we do have
Yes,
prizes.
we do have prizes.
We have little
you said
free
that.
gifts. Yes.
You don't have to do anything.
No,
you did
no,
it
no,
already.
no.
What you have to do is you have to ask if we have
I want
prizes.
you to tell me
You're already a
what
winner.
your favorite monster is.
My wife.
I guess we ding, 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 ding. I guess we won't be airing this.
What's your name, sir?
Rascal.
Rascal. Well, I think that is one of the best answers, and you deserve a prize. What do you say? You reach into the pumpkin and grab a prize.
Yeah, dig in there.
Dig deep, and he pulls out. Ooh, spaceman. Ooh, aliens, and spaceman.
I'm used to him.
You like? Enjoy, sir. Enjoy.
Thank
Check
you.
out Monster Party.
Thank you.
Cheers.
He won a prize. He did. Would you like to win a prize? You sure? You like monsters?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Wait, come on.
No funny stuff.
Okay, here's what you tell me. First of all, what is your name?
Angel.
Angel, and what is your favorite monster?
Oh, it's Sam from Trick or Treat.
Really?
Good choice.
I love
Good
Sam.
choice.
What is it about Sam that you like so much?
He's just so cute. He's
He is.
little, and he just walks around with his little bag, and he has rules.
And he kills people with candy.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And only if you don't follow the rules.
Right.
That's right,
Yeah,
right.
It's fair. It's
Yes,
fair.
yes, he
As long as
is.
you follow the rules, you're good.
And he loves Halloween. He's like he
Well, that
supports
deserves
Halloween.
a prize, don't you think?
Of
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Reach in.
Are these people with you, or are you guys all together?
And there we go. And you got a little zombies and bats and things.
Love it.
And a vintage tea.
I love it.
They're kind of for a small mouth, just to let you know.
It's okay.
Enjoy. Check out Monster Party, guys.
Thanks.
Hey there. Doing great.
This is going very well,
It
right?
is.
Yes. Do you guys know about Monster Party? Oh, wait a minute. Are you wearing a creature shirt? Okay.
Uh-huh.
What is your name?
Michelle?
Michelle, you are my new best friend. Look what my shoes. Okay.
Larry here is a huge creature fan.
Huge creature fan.
We all are.
Huge creature fan.
Are you a big creature fan? Really? Do you have a big collection?
Not really, but I like all the movies.
Oh, here, come over here. So, like, what creature things do you have?
Some of the movies. Mainly streaming.
Imagine that, Larry. She likes the movies.
Yeah, I know, but maybe she has a creature figure.
Do I?
Yeah, but we're gonna work on it.
Maybe.
Who's this guy?
My husband.
Come on over here, buddy. What's your name?
My name's Mike.
Mike. You know, there are a lot of cool creature toys out there that you could get your lovely wife.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they're at Monsterpalooza.
That's right.
You might be able to find a few.
So I think you.
There's a slight chance. One
Just
slight
slight
chance. We
chance,
might
yes.
do. This is an outside chance.
I am a huge creature fan. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with them, and I have a huge creature collection. Huge.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not lying.
But believe it or not, there are people out there that still have larger creature collections. But my goal is to one day.
Pass them?
Yes.
So what is it about of all the Universal monsters? What is it that the creature? Why is he a particular favorite?
I don't know, because like the makeup, innovation with the makeup and all of that.
Yeah.
With Jack Pierce.
Especially for the time, right?
Innovation that you can still see to this day with makeup.
And he swims.
Yeah, he swims too.
Full body, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Full body makeup, had to hold his breath the entire time he was doing the water scene.
Riku Browning.
Yeah. And the fact that all these old classics is what laid the foundation of what we get to enjoy for today.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
And just what the actors went through, just what the makeup they had back at the time.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, Jack Pierce and what Boris Karloff went through during Frankenstein. Good Lord.
And so just to be on this, so we're on the same page, Pierce, he was the guy who did the Frankenstein makeups, and it was actually Millicent Patrick who did the design of the creature, and it was Bud Westmore who was in charge of the makeup department at that time.
Who kind of usurped
Yes, because
Jack Pierce,
yes, exactly. But you guys are great, and you deserve a prize.
I'll say.
Yes. So what do you guys? I want you to stick your hand in. And hopefully she gets a monster thing. Hopefully. Ooh, glow zombies! Here you go, buddy. Go ahead.
Go.
He's reaching in, and he's going to blow out. Oh, he got Skeleton Warrior.
Skeleton Warrior.
Nice.
So
Nice.
now later you can have them fight. And
That's right.
But see, guys, you just got here. You stopped at Monster Party. You got free gifts.
And please
What do you
check
think
out our
about that?
podcast.
Oh, we're loving it. We're absolutely loving it.
Great. Well, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Check out Monster Party, okay?
Thank you.
Definitely will. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Hey, guys, are you guys big Monster fans? Are you a big Monster fan, sir? Come here. Do you have a moment just to talk with us? So what's your favorite monster?
Freddy Krueger.
Really? Neat.
Classic.
Does she like monsters? No. Tell you what, does she want to reach
How about
in for a free
toys?
prize?
How about
Do you like
monster toys?
Monster toys? Yeah, just stick your hand in. What? I'm Larry with Monster Party Podcast.
Mine's Fidel.
Ah, what do you got there?
What did you get? Ooh, look, you got little rubber rats and spiders. Is that cool? Do you like that?
You know, to see you giving the toys to the children and being like a little demonic Kris Kringle.
Yes. No. Well, you're not demonic, but it's like when no, Sean. Wouldn't you agree? It's like when you give a child a toy, and it's a creepy toy or like
you're
spooky
nurturing
toy.
them into
Yeah.
horror fandom.
And I know what James is thinking.
What?
James is thinking. So, Larry, what did you bring this year? So, for listeners,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's like a mind reader.
What is in that pumpkin?
In the past, we've had little plastic figures of glow zombies.
Yes.
We've had a series of monster figures. And this year we've added skeleton warriors.
Cool.
That are really neat.
I like those.
Larry.
And what Matt really likes is it's a bag of like creepy goodies.
I like that.
It's got like a zombie head and like a rat, a skeleton.
And what listeners have to understand is that, and you can't see this, but what Larry has done is he's packaged each one of these with a Monster Party double-sided
Yes,
tag.
like the packaging itself.
With our pictures on both sides with the logo.
Yes.
It's very professional.
Just like you'd get from a store.
Yeah, I am dedicated to Monster Party Podcast. I give it my
As
all.
opposed to the rest of us.
I just sit on my ass.
No, I don't mean it like that.
Wow.
Like, no. Come on.
Welcome to Ego Out of Control Party.
Oh my goodness! Wait!
Oh, she's gonna wear this.
Yes.
Girl who's
Okay.
Gonna need
there's a
some
cute
presents.
little girl who's in
Okay.
like a evil.
Let's see.
Larry,
They come over here.
Larry,
Yes.
You know what? I kid you, but you do an amazing job with those prizes.
They're beautiful.
Oh boy, I see some Monster fans.
Wow, yes. Yeah.
Oh my
Some
goodness!
great
I see,
outfits here.
Are you a Monster fan, young lady? Are you a Monster fan?
Yeah.
What is your
Right.
favorite monster?
Offer a clown.
Really? How cool
Nice.
is that? So I'm sorry. Say that again.
She's never seen the movies, I promise.
Okay. Well, I think your outfit. What are you dressed as today?
Offer a clown.
Wow, well, you look
Oh.
impressive. James, did you get a photo?
I did.
Because I think you look so good. She deserves a free prize, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Would you like to reach in
As
the pumpkin
opposed
and
to
grab?
those prizes that cost money.
So there's like monsters or skeletons or creepy. Do you like glow zombies or? Oh, look! Oh, there's a Godzilla and a demon. And look at that, Mom. Is that
That's a
cool, or
good-
would you rather like
You
glow
want a different
zombies
one?
or
She can have whatever her heart desires. She's good. Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like one too? Why don't you put so that way there's another thing in there.
Yeah,
for-
there you
for-
go.
there we go.
Yeah.
Look, Mom is like she is like well, there were glow zombies.
We love zombies. Yeah.
Who doesn't? What is your favorite monster?
Art the Clown is my favorite, but okay.
Nice.
Do you think there's a lot of big creepy clown fans out there now?
Well, what's really funniest to me is that I never liked clowns, and then I saw the Terrifier series, and I was like, I love this man. I was like, I'm going to meet him later, and I'm so excited. I don't know, he healed it for me. I think it's because he doesn't talk.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you like a man who doesn't talk.
Yes.
What's your
He's
name?
going to be a clown. He might as well be a mute. You know?
And what's your name?
Mari.
Mari, thank you so much for stopping by. And the little one there?
Her name's Indy.
Indy. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your free gift. Thank you, guys. Check out Monster Party, guys.
Hey, can I get a photo of you? Here, ready? Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Wow.
Great.
Wow. You've done this before.
That was like the best outfit.
It was a great outfit.
How
Yes,
is
it
it?
was.
The funny thing is, that kid looked great in that outfit.
The kid did look great in the outfit.
Doesn't it make you wish that I want an outfit just like that, so I could run around the house?
I do not want an outfit just like that.
Because you're not a big creepy clown guy.
Yeah, I'm also not a big. I feel like female attire on me doesn't do any favors for anyone.
No. I meant if you had like a creepy clown outfit, you know.
Now, I would like to cosplay maybe as one of the killer clowns from outer space because I do love them a lot.
And you don't see that cosplay a lot.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Now, was it last year, James, where we had the producer or the director of Terrifier 3 on?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're around this year.
You know, Terrifier's really exploded. That franchise is dominating horror right now.
It's insane. Yeah, it's like eclipsed Pennywise. It's become like the new horror clown.
Yep.
But see, I thought Pennywise was pretty scary. I thought that was a scary.
Compared to this clown.
Clown.
Yeah. Pennywise is a little bit out of his league here.
I see. Okay. Well, there it is.
I have spoken. I have decreed.